What's up? Oh, I forgot to get my coffee. All right. The same time I saw that we had our light bill came, and they slid it underneath the door, so I had to go grab that. Did you guys get a chance to see the trailer for Conan Exiles Enhanced? It came out while I was streaming the Assassin's Creed Black Flag Resynced. It's only going to be on the Steam version of Conan Exiles, but it's a complete revamp of the game visually in Unreal 5, and it looks freaking amazing. It's not going to be available on like Epic Game Store or through the Microsoft Store or anywhere else, not on any consoles. But I gotta say, one of the things I always complained about, I like Conan Exiles. I think it's a fun game, but I've always complained graphically it looks like shit. I've never liked the look of it. I mean, it looks like a 15, 20-year-old game. But that revamp, I've got it open on my phone right now on TikTok. It looks legit. It's in May, the beginning of May. I'm gonna wait and see. I might do it. I've played the game on the Xbox. I've played it on the PlayStation. Um, yeah, it's Conan with a Dune Awakening graphic refresh. That's exactly what it is. Yeah, great. It looks amazing. Ali says, I watched it. Nice. What's up, Garrett? What's up, everybody? Lord of Hatred content reveal stream. I have not watched that yet, Ali. But I'm tempted by that Conan Exiles enhanced thing. We might have to see. Depends on scheduling and stuff. All right, today I think I want to work on the UC Vanguard quest, which I believe is the only faction quest that I have left to do. Oops, I gotta leave. Well, actually, you know what? Since we're here in cruise mode, they added fishing to Diablo 4. Gray says both maps can be traversed by the same character with the update as well. Yeah, oops, I'm missing a window here. Hang on, guys. J. Dilla says I'm playing Shattered Space right now. Shattered Space is a good DLC. You know what? It's going to be quicker just to go out of here and fast travel. I forgot that I left this on while I was like AFK and stuff, and so I have traveled so fucking far. It's going to take us like 10 minutes to get back if I go in cruise mode. I forgot. I was like, I went off to go grab coffee and get the light bill and everything else. And we were traveling the whole time. Oh, I didn't exit cruise mode. I just got up from the cockpit. Alright, sounds to me like I need to go watch the Diablo stream at some point as well. Yeah, I was exploring the outer cloud. I went way out into space, the outer rim, baby. I could tell you exactly why Shattered Space got so many negative reviews, because a certain YouTuber did a speed run of it and beat it in like under 4 hours, and then he made this horrible review about how Shattered Space wasn't worth the money. There was only 3 hours of content, and it was the worst DLC that Bethesda ever made. That's exactly what happened. And then I went and played it and got like 25 hours out of it and went, what the fuck? 3 hours?
United Colonies, eh?
Are you out of your fucking mind? So that's exactly what happened. A speedrunner did the quest, the main quest. They skipped all the conversation stuff. They didn't watch the cutscenes. They didn't listen to anything. They didn't do any of the side dialogue. They just bum rushed their way to the end, and then they went, Shattered Space sucks. There's only 3 hours of content. That would be like me rushing the main story in Starfield, beating the game in less than 15 hours, and then calling it a big waste of time because it's only got 15 hours worth of content. Meanwhile, hold that thought. Meanwhile, if you actually play the game, like I've been doing, with this fresh start from the scratch playthrough, I crossed 47 hours, 97. My brain doesn't work yet. I haven't had coffee. I crossed 97 hours on this playthrough as of the start of this stream. I'm level 35, and all I have done since I started this playthrough is quests. That's it. Quests. Faction quests, some side quests, a handful of activities. I romanced Sam. I romanced Andreja. I did some crafting. I've leveled up my spacesuit stuff to max, my weapon modding stuff to max, special projects to max. I've been playing the game. Just playing. Naturally playing. With an XP penalty, mind you. Because I've had a -6 penalty almost the entire time because I rocked the access to cargo space anywhere. So I am almost to 100 hours. We should be crossing the 100-hour threshold during today's stream, assuming No internet outages or anything like that. Because I usually stream for 3 to 4 hours. I only need 3 more hours to get to 100 hours. So if we get to 100 hours while we're on this stream, I'm going to be recording it live with everybody. But we're going to be making a video talking about this very point when I hit 100 hours. There's nothing to do in Starfield. And here I am, closing in at 100 hours, and we haven't even finished all of the faction quests in the game yet. Think about that for a minute. Base game content. Romancing Sam, Romancing Andreja, main quest, all the faction quests, naturally crafting. I haven't even done Shattered Space yet. I haven't done all the Trackers Alliance content yet. I haven't even gotten close to touching Terran Armada or any of the stuff that came with free lanes, like the Anchor Point and all that other stuff. I'm nowhere near any of that content, and I'm already getting ready to cross 100 hours of gameplay. But there's nothing to do in the game. Trust me, I'll save that rant for later, guys. It'll happen. It should happen today on stream. Just wait. So yeah, it's like people, somebody could easily go out there and beat the main quest in this game in 15 hours. There are people who, I believe the speedrunners say you can beat this main storyline in like an hour and a half or something. Imagine doing that and then saying that this game is empty and there's nothing to do. Imagine doing that. And then you have someone who, like me, who comes along and plays the game, listens to the voiceovers, doesn't skip any of the content, and here I am, 100 hours in. There's probably at least another 100 hours of just storyline content available. I know for a fact that if I do all the side quests and content in Shattered Space, that's about 25 hours of content. Just quests. I still have shitloads of activities and missions and things to do. And I haven't even explored all the places. Haven't been to New Homestead yet. Haven't been to, what's that fucking place with the clones? Where you find Amelia Earhart and Genghis Khan and Frank Roosevelt. I can't remember the name of that place. Crucible? Crucible. I haven't even been to Crucible yet. There's so many places.
You are new probationary then? Crew Chief Herat.
Right, Dokes. And that's the other thing is, like,
it's my job
you
to
could
make
talk
sure
to all
all
these
you
NPCs and
rocket
uncover
jockeys are
other
ready for
quests.
anything that comes at you up there. Now,
Then there's, if I want to go out and
Manifest says
collect
we're
all the
fitting you out
dolls,
with one comms repair
plushies.
In addition to the standard issue welcome kit all probationary pilots get for their first mission. Med packs, some small arms,
I've only
couple spare
done like
ship
6 or
parts,
7
all
of the
the
powers too.
essentials in case of any surprises up there. My people will have everything on your ship.
Content everywhere.
Won't even know they were there.
Yeah, speedrunners are the devil.
So, paying a visit to the people of scenic Tau Ceti 2. Nice easy one for your
My
first
mustache
job.
is full of
Just keep your head on swivel and you'll come home
grapefruit
safe.
juice.
Any questions before you head out?
I'm all set.
Then I won't keep you. Make us look good out there, recruit.
All right. Can I take my ship or do I have to take his ship?
Bird.
Got ourselves some cargo.
Oh shit, I'm in the wrong ship. Oh no. Hang on, we gotta load. I forgot I was in this ship for the purposes of the video that I recorded last night. I do not want to go out there and fight level 35 ships in the frontier. This thing has not been updated. My bad.
Really? I'm shocked she managed to limp back here at all. Pull it for leeches, get it fixed up, and let her know we'll have it ready as soon as we can. Ah, you are new probationary? It's my job. Now, manifest. In addition to the med packs, some small... My people will have... Nice easy one. Any questions? Then I won't keep you. Make us look good out there.
Alright, let's go change ships. Welcome to New Atlantis, capital of the United Colonies.
You should inspect your. Got anything you need to
Sir,
offload?
I'd like to view and
Great.
modify my
Okay,
ships.
no problem.
There we go. All is right in the world. Allie, where did they stream that Diablo 4? Is that on like Blizzard's YouTube channel or Diablo's YouTube channel? I can Google it later. I'm just genuinely curious off the top of your head. So I can put that down in my notes that I gotta go look at that later.
Every world with living things. It seems unusually quiet here. It is rarely a good sign.
Dun, 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 dun. Hang on a minute, I gotta go check a thing. You post it in the reaction. Oh, that works. Thank you very much. Thank you, Allie. How long is it? Oh shit, that's an hour and a half. Oh, did you timestamp it? Thank you. Okay, so it's about an hour long. We might watch that tomorrow morning. I'm gonna save that for tomorrow morning. Let's watch that tomorrow morning, guys. Let's I will specifically set up a stream first thing in the morning to do a watch party for that. Let me put this down in my notes so that I don't forget. Diablo 4 Lord of Hatred. And then we could probably just roll into some Diablo 4 streaming maybe tomorrow morning, because I haven't played my Paladin in a couple of weeks. It'd be good to refresh my memory, get my muscle memory back in, and maybe do some of the post-campaign stuff for my Paladin that I haven't done yet. We'll see how the morning goes tomorrow. But definitely going to start the day off with that. Yeah, the X-Pack, we're just right around the corner. Wait, 4 days? 5 days. Well, it's 4 days for you. I was going to say it's 5 days for me. One second here. I'm from the future, motherfuckers! Correct. I'm gonna have to respec my pally entirely as well. Which is probably, I'm not sure if I'm gonna
Take
start,
what you
I don't know if
must.
I'm gonna do my
Leave the
paladin,
rest for the scavengers.
or if I'm gonna start a warlock from scratch. I haven't decided yet. I need to watch the stream, because if I remember correctly, when I did Vessel of Hatred, and I started the new class, I had to go through the campaign again to level it up before I could start the new content. And I don't wanna level up a character through old content, because I just did the playthrough on my Paladin. I don't want to have to turn around and level up another character through the base content. So if I could start a Warlock and just jump right into the new campaign, that's what I would like to do. Shiny! Jumping in the chat.
This does not look to have been motivated by theft. That may make it worse.
Yeah, you're not wrong, Andreja. What weapon is this? This is the crowd control weapon, which is from the Trackers Alliance Mantis 2.0. DSM. Sorry. Not safe for work. Shit. Fist Fear, I was like, is that a magazine on the desk near the door? There may have been. I was sidetracked making sound effects for DSM's benefit, and so I didn't see if there was a magazine. Alright, let me slow it down here. Thanks, Tonster, for the Twitch sub. Appreciate it. There's a book. I don't think there's a magazine. There's an antique videotape. I don't know what. I don't want to know what's on it though. That would be stuff that. Oh shit! Permanently grants the recipe for the deep food item. There was something here. Fist of Fury already caught something that I did not. The recipe for the deep food item. Vanessa says, "Guess what happened after Black Flag?" I have no idea. Don't keep us in suspense. Crashed ship. By the way, for anybody who hasn't played this storyline, this is like Aliens, man. Game over, man. Game over. Did you hear that? I heard that.
Either I got hit harder than I thought, or you've got some incredible timing. Regardless, I think it knows you're here. I'll unlock the door. Second floor, main building. But be quiet.
You've been brushing up on your panties, Shiny. Oh, your shanties. My bad. Read that wrong. It's like, I'm prepared to be a mighty sea queen. Rocking my sea panties. Yeah, the Diablo. Yeah, we're gonna do a watch party of the Diablo thing tomorrow morning. Allie linked it in Discord a little while ago.
So what do we got here? It's too clean to be one of the
Ah,
settlers.
Hadrian's outfit is so
pirate.
good.
You see on patrol, maybe? It'd make my day if you said you were a shock trooper out for a stroll.
Brian Hippler says, I'm unable to find anything new. What is that gun? That's from the Tracker Alliance Manus Mark II quest. Well, the Vanguard sent me.
Vanguard, huh? Yeah, I expect they didn't. I'm Hadrian. I was a researcher with the UC. I came here on a rumor
And the new
of a...
DLC is full
Well,
of
I
new
expect
weapons.
you saw
So
the
you gotta go
results
run
on
the
your
Terran
way in.
Armada stuff if you haven't been able to
What's
find anything new.
left of the settlers?
You can
The
get her
work
outfit,
of
Allie.
Oxysio Machina. A terramorph.
There is
One of the nastiest aliens humanity's ever crossed paths
if
with.
I remember
and
correctly.
this one, well, it's something of an anomaly. Possibly a worrying one.
The Red Devil
A terramorph?
base
Here?
that you end
Why
up
did you not
getting
state
to
that
on
immediately?
Mars. Pretty sure there's a vendor in the bottom that sells a variant of this, because I remember being obsessed with her outfit the first time I did this quest. And I remember being able to get it. I could swear it's at the merchant down there. Maybe it's not, but I remember getting the outfit at some point. Alright, so all the settlers are dead.
I managed to scope out a fair bit of the facility before it found me. If there are any survivors of the attack, they're long gone.
Garrett said there's also one laying around in a room there too. Wait, in a room here, Gyard, or a room in the Red Devil base? Because if it's a room on the if it is from the room on the Red Devil base, then that's the one I'm remembering. Red Devil. Okay, so that's the one I'm remembering, and that may be a slightly different colored version. But yeah, I remember it being the same outfit. Yes, that is this mission, DSM.
Because to confirm my suspicions about this creature, I'm gonna need a tissue sample from it. And to get that,
Crimson
I need
Desert
its corpse.
updated.
But there is a way we can give ourselves an edge against this thing. The plant security system. The admin terminal's here in this building, but it needs its connection reset. And as I found out,
This is one of
that's
the
not
best
a one-person job.
faction quests.
But
yeah.
if you can make it to the security outpost and restore the connection, I think I can get things back online. See if the settlers left us any other tools.
All right, let's get it back on.
Good. Once I see the connection reset, I'll get things underway on my end. Take care of yourself out there.
Yes, ma'am.
Make sure you leave enough of that thing for us to get a
Yeah,
sample.
so having never played the original Black Flag game, I don't have the benefit of having played it, but it's very easy for me to look at the videos and screenshots of what came before and go, oh, this is way better looking. Like, the fact that they redid all of the mocap from scratch. Thanks for the 1K bits cheer over on Twitch, Garrett. Appreciate that. There was a hotfix today. Which I think was the hotfix for the base PS5, but it also patched the PS5 Pro, and it was addressing the crashes people have been having on the base PS5. So I can't speak to that because I'm on the PS5 Pro. But I do know there was a patch today. played first if Trackers Alliance had to restart. It's made too many silly errors. Secondly, the Starjackers bookings from not appear, so I cannot take first contract. Playing PC? I have no idea. Usually that's with a... Oftentimes if there's an
Someone or
issue with the load
something
order,
will clean up whatever's left behind.
one of the easiest solutions is to just delete all of the mods, delete all the creations, and reinstall them. But you would need to troubleshoot, like, you would need to Google how to troubleshoot that, because I haven't had any issues with any of that stuff, but I have heard of people having issues. And I know from past experiences with creations stuff, it's usually related to, sometimes there's just a wonky flip that got switched somewhere, and you just gotta delete all the mods and re-download them, reinstall them. Garrett says, yes, uninstall the mods, save game using new load order, reinstall mods. What's up, Studman? Ali says, I was thinking of playing Odyssey for the first time. Do it, Ali. If you have time, do it. Odyssey is fucking huge, and it is awesome. And because you can play a female protagonist, Cassandra is the shit. Cassandra is one of the best protagonists in the Assassin's Creed franchise history, hands down. She's up there with Desmond as like one of the best. And she is officially, she's like the canon character for that game and the DLCs. So if you have never played Odyssey, Ali, fucking do it. And play all the DLCs. It is that's 150 200 hours. And sailing between, goddamn, I would love to do Odyssey again, just sitting here thinking about it. Like sailing between all the islands, the sea shanties. Like I went all in, I got like the Amazonian outfit for all my crew members. So I had all Amazons. I had a full crew of Amazonian badass bitches on my ship, crewing my ships for me, and we would just sail the seas and just take out everybody while singing sea shanties. Oh man, Odyssey is such a good game. Valhalla is also very, very, very good, but I still put Odyssey up there as my all-time favorite Assassin's Creed game. Like, I do love the combat in Assassin's Creed Shadows the most. Like, that game was fucking awesome, the most recent one. But Odyssey still takes the cake for me for like my favorite. Oh, you own the completed? Oh, fucking do it, Ali. Yeah. Yeah, Valhalla's good though too because of the Viking era stuff, because you get to spend the first like 40, 50 hours of the game just doing Viking stuff before you even go to England. And then that shot, I still to this day get goosebumps when I think about in Valhalla when you first get to England and you're sailing down the river, right? And you're coming in. It's the very first time you're in England, and it's like I think it's a sunrise or a sunset. I can't remember if it's a sunrise or a sunset, but the sun is on the horizon as you're coming in on the boat, and you're like going through the British, the English countryside, and it's just picturesque as fuck. And the music and everything else. Valhalla is my second favorite Assassin's Creed game. I just love Odyssey and Valhalla. Those two back to back were so good. And each one of those is like 150, 200 hours of game. Like they're big games, and I love like the narrative RPG elements. I like the skill trees, the way you can level up exactly how you want to level up. Yeah. Origins was also good because of the Egyptian setting, but it didn't. Hadn't quite refined. They hadn't completely made that transition to RPG style yet, so it was still in the middle. Um, yeah, Valhalla took me 6 months, guys. Like that was before I was streaming for a living, and so I was playing it in between my day job stuff. It took me 6 months to beat Valhalla. It was a big ass game. I think if you go back on my channel, you'll find I did some videos on my very first playthrough of Assassin's Creed Valhalla, however many years ago that's been, 5, 6 years. But it was like 6 months. Yeah, it took me 6 months to beat AC Valhalla, and I played like 3 days a week, 4 days a week. Um, I've played Odyssey through twice. Odyssey's a goddamn good game, and I would totally play it a third time if I had the time. That would be a pleasure. Like the Greek mythology, especially with the DLC content. And then like, oh yeah, yeah. Da-da-da-da-da. Tiff's like, I almost want to go bed. Download Odyssey now.
Connection restored. I'll make this quick. Plant's turrets took a beating, but I should be able to get you a couple
Malaka.
of kill lanes. Just get the thing to chase you down the alleys between the buildings, and you'll lead it right into a crossfire. Oh, hello? I wish I'd found this earlier. You notice those sensors around the facility? Part of a livestock tracking system. Should let you keep tabs on how close the Terramorph is.
Yeah, you could fight Medusa. Yeah, it's such a
Not
good
connected to
experience.
this network. There should be a terminal in the adjoining
Good luck,
room.
Allie. That's all I can say.
Tune in to
Good luck.
183.5.
You might find yourself not wanting to play anything else. Yes, there's a great modding scene for Bethesda games, but Starfield is pretty awesome.
Tracker's reading green. What's that
Yeah, there
sound?
was a huge Crimson Desert patch when I turned on my PS5 earlier.
Shit. Stop. Stop whatever you're doing and get in cover.
When they come back and actually add remappable controls for the PlayStation 5, I will... Because today's patch added... Oh, there it is. There it is. Terramorph, motherfuckers! Turn off your flashlight, dumbass.
Look, I wouldn't engage directly if you could avoid it.
Sweet Pea says I love my modded
They're set
Starfield.
up but need power.
Today's
There's
patch
markers on
added
each of the
story
buildings
mode
you can throw to get
to
them
Crimson
live.
Desert,
Once
which for
they're
me
online,
is a
lead the
huge deal
Terramorph towards the
because
lights
I bashed my head
watch the
against one of those
fireworks.
story bosses and was
Give
like,
it
nope.
hell, Vanguard.
But the real big thing for me was even after 100 hours, I couldn't wrap my head around their just horrible control scheme. So the moment they've already added story mode, that's huge. It's a huge deal. It's the biggest deal. The moment they add remappable keys, I will happily jump back into that game and play more. By the way, I need to get back to crowd control.
Power levels insufficient. Proceed to next power breaker.
I'm not getting up there, am I?
Additional power required.
curious place for an industrial packing
Andreja,
operation.
shut your trap.
There must have been a good incentive for them to locate here.
I think it fucking heard us or saw us. Oh.
Good one.
Jesus, it's right here. We're not getting away.
They should have.
We're cool.
It is done.
Be cool, bitch. Be cool.
Do you think, to mark the occasion, we would be allowed to take a small? As a trophy?
Crowd control for the win.
It's not.
That's not nearly as terrifying as the first time I did it, but that crowd control weapon made all the difference. First time I did that, it was terrifying. I definitely had to use the lasers you set up, those, which is what we were in the process of doing before we got caught. Get thee hence, Satan. Man, look at all these master locks that I can't fucking pick because I don't have lock picking.
Tracker's gone quiet. I suspect it's either hiding or...
Wait. You did it, didn't you?
I did.
Heavens above! You just flatlined a terramorph!
All taken care of. Believe the words you're looking for? Alright, thank you for saving my ass.
I'm not too proud. Thank you for saving my ass.
You're welcome.
You didn't happen to grab me a tissue sample, did you?
Garrett says, I'm playing at my outpost. I'm hearing trackers on Rins. Took me a few to realize that's now not my outpost. I was like, what is that noise for? Yeah, you never forget your first Terramorph. The first time I did this... By the way, who is it that said their dog freaks out every time they play Terramorphs? Alright, see you, DSM. Oh, Owen's over on TikTok saying the company man for Bethesda right here. Actually, I'm the company man for every game I play, motherfucker. I am literally a paid shill for every fucking game I play. I have the best job in the world. I get paid to play games. You're stuck in your mom's basement, rubbing one out to your little
You all right in there?
waifu pillow comforter. Meanwhile, I've got a real girl in the other room, and I get paid to play video games by all the companies in the world. Suck on it, Owen. Jealousy. It's okay to be jealous. It's okay to want to be me. One day you'll get there when you're a big boy and you move out of your mom's basement. But until then, sit down. Shut up, young pup. That's a clippable moment right there, kids. Oh, we gotta ban his ass too and play the band music. Hang on. Hang on! We're not done. Block account. Hang on, I gotta pull up the band
Adrian.
music. Where's it at? Where's it at? I wasn't ready.
Strong hand, fist of iron, judgment falls. Hearts are dying, banhammer strikes. Tears like rain, justice served. Feel their pain.
Yeah. Never gonna give me up, never gonna let me down. You're always gonna be eating my dust. Sweet Pea says, last week of classes, time to do some adulting. Alright, see ya, Sweet Pea. By the way, great episode on Starfield After Dark last night. I didn't watch the whole episode, but I did catch the part where you guys were talking about New Game Plus. I was there for a little bit. Garrett says, something about the noise the Terramorphs make. My dog loses her mind. No other critters set her off. That's crazy. That is intense. Oh yeah, we're definitely clipping that one. Rush says, how do I smuggle contraband? You got to have a contraband. Well, you don't
all
have
right in
to.
there?
Yeah, you have to go sell it at like the Den or the Crimson Fleet.
A lot of life gets recorded
Absolutely
in
going
our
to be playing the Crimson Fleet Black
cells.
Flag
Like, for
remake.
example, if
100%. Did you not catch my
cells
stream
have
earlier today?
certain radiation or chemical exposures.
We did a whole
It
watch
could
party
point to
around
it
the
having
reveal.
been transported on a ship. Then we could start getting some answers about this thing. So, did you manage to nab one?
I did, girlfriend.
All right. I spotted a microscope downstairs.
And yes, there's also
Let's see
shielded
if we
cargo
can't get to
holds
the
so
bottom
that
of
you don't
this.
get caught by the popo on civilized planets of the settled systems. But you could totally smuggle cargo and be a smuggler. Yeah, I clipped that, put it out on social media earlier today, Studman. The cat moment in that stream was like, no, I mean, I'm already was gonna play it, but you've had my attention, and now you've got my, you know, that was my moment. There's also scan jammers. Yeah, so you can have scan jammers, shielded cargo holds. There's lots of way to get cargo down onto the settled systems, but you can also sell it at places like the Den and Crimson Fleet. Someone says you can sell it at the Red Mile also.
Older model. Okay, let's see what you can do. Running basic diagnostics. Nothing. Maybe a flag scan? No. Spectrograph. Damn. This equipment, it's not set up to do a proper analysis of our sample. But this terramorph being here, of all places, it doesn't make sense. Humanity's spread plenty of creatures in our travels across the stars. Pets, livestock, pests. But terramorphs?
I'm not customer
They're
support,
different.
so I can't help you with that issue,
To our
unfortunately.
knowledge, no one's
Google
ever
is your
spread
friend
them
when it comes to
intentionally.
finding things like that.
Yet
Kid
somehow,
Wisco, whatever
they
your name
follow
is.
us.
Kid Wisco.
So when humans settle a world,
Sounds like
70
a
to
corrupted
100
save
years
file or
later,
something.
Terramorphs tend to just appear. No one knows how or why. Dangerous,
But I am
but
not
at
tech
least
support, so
predictable.
I'm not going to be able to help you out.
Talseti, though, it's too young to have a native population. It's only been colonized 20 years? But then the other option, that someone captured one of the deadliest predators in the galaxy just to wipe out some settlers minding their own business? That seems awfully implausible. Which means we're either looking at a truly strange murder or a faster type of terramorph growth, the results of which could be catastrophic. Terramorph outbreaks have taken down far bigger colonies than this one.
Sounds like we need to do something quick.
You're right. We just need more information first.
Garrett says, rule of
Time
Bethesda,
was, I had
save
access
often,
to one of
delete
the
old
best
save files,
repositories
known
of
issue with
terramorph
large
research
save
in the
files can cause
galaxy.
problems. I've
Seems a
heard
natural
of
place
people
to
having
start
issues
looking,
on PC
if I can
related to
figure how
like
to access
save
it.
file bloat, especially when they're running
But we
lots of
also
mods,
need to
but
get
I've never
this
had that
sample
issue because I don't
properly
ever run
analyzed.
mods. So
Get confirmation on just how concerned we should be.
I've only ever played on the
Luckily,
Xbox and the
I think I
PlayStation,
know
and I've
just
never
the
had
person
any
to help
issues.
with the sample. What would you say to delivering this to him for me?
I got you covered.
I'd do
Adrian.
it myself, but I need to call in some favors. See if I can't get access to that terramorph
I got
data.
fucking Allie got me thinking. All I could think about is
Plus,
Assassin's Creed.
Maybe just
Odyssey
pop by
right
the
now.
hospital for a little bit. Clear it
And
with your
just
commander first if you
Malaka.
have to. You can even show them this. My gene tag. Tell them Hadrian Sinan is worried there could be more attacks on the horizon. They should recognize the name.
All right. I'll make sure my commander agrees.
Oh, you don't understand what a
I know,
weight off my
FKMR,
shoulders
right?
that is.
I need Dr. Percival Walker to put together a sample analysis for this thing. Full workup. He'll know what that means.
He'll know what
I'm
that
not sure exactly where to
means.
find him, but last I heard he was contracting with the Trade Authority on Mars. There's a place called the Sixth Circle in Sidonia. Bar run by some old friends. I'll meet you and Percival there.
And here, it's not exactly a bounty, but you certainly deserve them. Should cover the cost to fuel to Mars, at least.
Now please, go check in with your commander. We need to know what we're dealing with.
If you're still around, Kid Wisco, watching on TikTok, sounds like to me you might want to jump in our Twitch and YouTube chats, because there are people offering options and tips on what might be causing your issue. So while I might not be able to help you with your issue, there are people in Twitch and YouTube talking about the save file thing. So if you have the chance and you're still around, go jump into the Twitch and YouTube chats. There are helpful people offering solutions. Potential solutions. Oh, Hadrian is one of the foxiest ladies in the game. Exactly, Bubbles. I love her outfit. I love her style, her attitude.
I have never quite... If you have the time, I wish to speak to
Jesus, Andreja. What's up, girlfriend?
you. Before I say anything else, I wanted to thank you for giving me time.
You are welcome.
When I first came here, I never expected that I would meet you or feel this way about you. That we would end up here together. I know that you told me you were not going anywhere, but I still worried, if only a little, that my asking for time to think would be a problem. There is no precedent for any of this. A romantic relationship not within the bounds of Barun culture, I mean. I wanted to attempt to honor that culture nonetheless.
If it's important to you, it's important to me.
I know, and I love you for that.
It is not. I have an
point
empty
I am
cup
trying
right
to
now,
get
so I need to
to
go get another cup of coffee.
Is that I believe I have an idea. A way I can demonstrate my commitment to you.
I am on board with whatever you want to do.
I was hoping that would be your response. This is between you and me, and no one else.
All right, guys,
You
we're gonna have to go
know
dark for the
who I
stream
am.
for a little bit because
I do
Andreja
not
says
need
this is
to
only
explain
between me and
myself
her.
to you as I would to
I don't
others.
want to ruin that wish,
They might
so we
not
might have to
understand,
blank the
and
screens,
I
mute the sound.
do not want that distraction. I want to be able to focus on us. So, as soon as you are ready, I want us to travel together to the second planet in the Shosa system.
We can do that.
There's something we need to do there.
Let's do it. The AC Vanguard quest will have to wait because my lovely Andreja needs me to do something. How does one become paid to play? Asks Will Chavez. I'm 40 and I've always wanted to do this for a living. Well, the good thing for you, Will Chavez, is I have a series on YouTube that is freely available to anyone who wants to watch it. There's about 25 episodes in that series. The playlist is called How to Make a Living as a Full-Time Content Creator and Streamer. And I document my journey, all the things that I've done, things that other people have done, etc. that teach you how to do this the way I've done it, as well as giving you points to other people and how they have done it. And you can check that out. We also are going to be adding a new episode because Bubbleonia, who's in chat right now, and says he's going to be in his bunk momentarily, asked me specifically because Bubbleonia just got monetized on YouTube. He just made YouTube partner yesterday or the day before. And by the way, Gray just got Twitch affiliate yesterday as well. So two of our fellow streamers in our community have just gotten monetized on YouTube and Twitch, which is awesome. But Bubbleonia made a request. I might actually do that live. Let's do that after Andreja. We'll do it live, and then I'll spin it out and we'll have episode 26 or whatever for the series. But I have been requested to make an episode on monetization tips. So stay tuned. We'll cover that here in a bit after this quest and some coffee. But there are 20-some episodes in that series. Will Chavez.
Hydrocarbons in abundance. Let us see how they have arranged themselves.
Sounds like a plan, girlfriend. I like the glowy grass. Aww. I need the Peter Griffin. Aww. That sounded bad, whatever that was. Sounded like a Terramore, to be honest with you. Is this like a cave? Girl, you got taste. I don't remember this at all. I love the glowing plants. Where are you at? Come here. Are we gonna need to turn the lights off, guys? We might have to mute this section of the stream.
There is little I can offer to
I'll
show
be in my
you
bunk.
how much I care, how much you mean to me. Whatever House Varun deems proper could not work, because you are not House Varun. And whatever marriage traditions you might have would not be appropriate for me.
I don't need a ceremony or party. I have you.
And I love you for feeling that way. But I did think of something.
Sky Guy says
This
this game
place
sucks. No,
where
that's
we
just your
stand
comment,
now is the
dumbass.
first place I was
Get
brought upon
fucked
leaving my city,
and banned.
Basra. The first time I had ever left my home planet. As you know, I was never allowed to know the way back home. That frightened me. But at the same time, I was suddenly aware of not just one planet, but a whole universe I had never seen. That is a feeling I had not experienced again until I met you.
Well, thank you, Andreja. It's a lot to live up to.
You have already done so. There is no need for you to worry. But there is more. Buried here is something of great value to me.
Oh.
Something I wish you to have. It is best, I think, if you are the one to retrieve it.
Sure. I don't remember this at all. What is the gift? Oh, is this like a dagger? It's like her Chris knife. Holy shit.
You hold in your hands the most treasured item I could give you.
That's exactly right, El Jefe. She is the best companion. I've never seen anything like this.
No,
Yeah, that's exactly true, AFK Mark.
there is a reason for that, and I hope when I explain why, you will understand what this means. In my culture, every child is entrusted with a pet groat. They are domesticated creatures native to my planet. Smelly, cantankerous, but their milk is a staple of our diet. We raise the groat. We care for it, we milk it. And when we come of age, we slaughter the groat and fashion its skull into a dagger.
Tribal. That's intense, bro.
It is a lesson. Through this groat, we are shown the connection that we have to the Great Serpent. That all things serve the Serpent.
Yes, you can play a
And
Bethesda
can
game
be
1,000
told what is
times and
used
still see new
in more
stuff.
ways than
Very
one.
true. This is incredibly personal to you.
I am glad that you can appreciate that.
This
Every
is
member
why
of
Andres'
Saloon has a dagger
storyline
in
is the
my
best
place.
in my mind.
We are instructed to keep them at our side.
I
at
didn't
all
remember this
times.
part of it, and it's just
This
striking
is
me
always
how
with us,
well written this is.
as is the
And
danger
her
of
voice
those who
actress,
defy and oppose him. But that constant connection
Chef
to the
Kith.
Great Serpent is a liability to those of us sent out into the
This is
settled
up there
systems.
with
When
Shadowheart,
we
with like
first
one of my
leave our
favorite
home,
romance arcs in
we
video
hide it.
games. You should be proud of who you are.
I am proud. I have always been. But my mission dictated that my origins remain concealed. So for years, this dagger
She's
has
literally
remained
revealing
buried
all
here,
her
hidden
spy
from the world.
background to me. That's a level of trust that is just
Now,
unheard of. No one else has
believe you
ever
should have
managed
it.
to break that barrier.
With it, I hope you can understand that I trust you completely. That I know you will care for this the way you care for me. And that we are connected in a way that is now truly unique in the settled systems. In all of creation.
I'm gonna
I
cry.
love you, and I am yours. Wholly and completely.
God damn. I don't have a skull dagger, but my heart is yours. I will cherish it always.
You are very welcome.
I got
and
teary-eyed at
know
that, man.
You will. I would not
That
have
was-
brought
that's
you
great.
here otherwise.
Great performance, great
Whew.
writing.
Now, surely there is some other grand adventure that awaits us.
Starfield
We should go
sucks.
and meet it
Yeah,
head-on.
whatever.
To what do I owe this play? Come back to me soon, dearest.
That's awesome. All right. You know, this is a pretty cool planet, looks-wise, and I think this will be a great place for us to... I don't think there's a lot of ambient noise going on.
Perfect execution.
Because we gotta go do a video. I don't know, there might be some ambient noise here that I don't want in the background. There's a lot of wind here. My poor vehicle. So we gotta go record an episode now. I don't think that background noise is too much. It's peaking a little bit. Get something a little quieter. If someone thinks this game sucks, I've got some beachfront property in Arizona. I'd like to sell them. Oh, what is that structure with all the satellite dishes and everything? You know, the ambient wind here is really interesting. All right. Dun, 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 dun. Anyway, AFK Mars said something up there. Who's like, I love the fact that they opened a stream of a game they don't like to then complain about the game, which shows their intelligence level. That person got banned instantly. It's like, this game sucks. It's like, you're the one sitting here watching a game you hate. Like, talk about intelligence level 0. All right, I'm gonna grab a coffee, take a bio, and then we're gonna come back and record an episode of our How to Make a Living series, and then continue the stream. If my internet disappears, I will be back as soon as possible. We have another 3 hours or so ahead of us, so we are in the beginning of our afternoon session. So as long as the power is good, the internet's good, I'm good to go. It'll be a short break, 3 to 5 minutes. I just got to grab a coffee and take a bio. All right. We're back from the break. Got a fresh cup of coffee, and I grabbed some of those cookies that Chris opened. So while we're live today, we are going to record the next episode in my ongoing series on how to make a living as a content creator and streamer. This episode was requested by Babylonia, who just got monetized and got YouTube partner, I think the day before yesterday. And then Gray just got Twitch affiliate yesterday, or the day before, somewhere along those lines. They both got monetized, one on YouTube, one on Twitch, like within the last 48 hours. And Babylonia had asked me a question, and I was like, hey, I'll record that video. I think that'll be something to do tonight. But since we're live, and we had Will Chavez in TikTok was asking about this right now, it's a great moment to do this. So we can actually record this live. If you miss any portion of this, this is going to be cut out and put onto YouTube as the next episode in the ongoing series, which we've been running for about a year now. I'm in my 5th year of doing this full time. My way is not the only way. I do have a lot of tips and tricks which are unique to my journey. I point out other people like Dino, Co-Carnage, and other people who have done things a different way. So you can learn in many different ways as you go along with this series. There is no one-size-fits-all solution, but these are just tips that can help guide people. So, let me read the question really quickly, because I know there was some stuff that I had thought about when I read his question, which was, right now I have super chats enabled, and I got like 20 of them last night, but people are asking about channel memberships. Should I set those up or wait? What's the downside for a newly monetized channel? Do I get to choose the levels? All right, so let me address like monetization tips as a whole, and then we'll narrow down in on Twitch tips, YouTube tips, and I think that's a great way to do this. We'll do a generalized monetization strategy, and then we can narrow down each platform. So there are a lot of different ways to go about getting monetized, whether you're on Twitch, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, whatever. They pretty much all will pay some form of advertising revenue as long as you are based in like North America. It's always going to be pennies when you get going, but pennies add up over time. I've talked about this in the past in a previous episode about, with YouTube in particular, one of the reasons I think YouTube is the best platform to focus on is because the game guides and library of content that you can get uploaded while you are working towards monetization, the moment that you do get ad revenue turned on, all of those videos start earning ad revenue. That's a big deal because it's more than just the ad revenue that you're going to earn from streaming. It's ad revenue that is passive and comes in over time, which is why it's a very important strategy to get your library of content built up while you're earning your membership. But once you get memberships, once you get access to YouTube partner, Twitch affiliate as an example, and you can start earning money, what are some monetization strategies? Twitch, I think, is pretty easy out of the gate. But one thing I could say that applies to all platforms, I've had a lot of people ask me, hey, Renfail, where is the best place to support you? And I always tell people wherever you want. Because the reality is that all the platforms take a cut. That's the cost of doing business. If I use PayPal, PayPal takes a cut. That's the cost of doing business. If I want to use a credit card to pay bills, I have to pay an annual credit card fee. That's the cost of doing business. There are always going to be costs associated with any type of business that you run. The bank is going to charge you a monthly fee for your checking account unless you keep a certain minimum. There are always going to be costs associated with things. So your objective to get monetized is to be monetized everywhere. One of the easiest ways to get people to have people support you before you get monetized on Twitch and YouTube is to get a Patreon account. Patreon is like one of the older school methods that's been around. I've had a Patreon account for like, I don't know, 15 years or something, since back in the travel blogging days. And a Patreon account allows you to earn ad revenue, or earn revenue from people who want to support you before you ever even get to the Twitch and YouTube side of things. So if you're someone who wants to just immediately out of the gate get things going, make sure you have a Patreon account, so that people have a way to support you. You can also just set up tips through, like, I believe, like Streamlabs, Stream Elements, all these things. You can set up tips. I don't do tips personally, and the reason I don't do tips is because I do things for my community. So I would rather people have a membership on YouTube or a membership on Patreon or a subscription on Twitch, because I do things that people get access to, as opposed to just people randomly tipping. I also have a merch store. I sell books. I have lots of ways of generating income on top of the ad revenue and the sponsor stuff we do, where we do sponsored reviews and sponsored streams and so on and so forth. But Patreon, great way to start. But let's speak really quickly to Twitch. Twitch, you're going to earn revenue through subscriptions, bits and cheers, and of course ad revenue. So you get to set the adjustments on how frequently the ads run on Twitch in a way that you can't control on YouTube. YouTube gives you 3 different frequencies. So you can choose like low, medium, or high. That's it. On Twitch, you can actually set, I want to run 3 minutes worth of ads every 17 minutes for a total of X amount of ads per hour. Like, you can dial it in on Twitch. You can also manually trigger an ad on Twitch with just this click of a button. So Twitch has a lot more control over the ads, which you don't necessarily have as much control over on YouTube. Raven Swift says, never thought of a Patreon or Ko-Fi, but maybe I should. You absolutely should. If you have members who are wanting to like support you in some way, shape, or form, it's a great way to provide them. I don't know enough about Ko-Fi, but I've always used Patreon because you could set up different tiers of memberships, which is something I'm going to get into here in a minute when I talk about the YouTube stuff. Is membership tiers. So with Twitch, there's no tier structure. It's just you have subscriptions. People can subscribe to you. They get an ad-free experience when they watch your Twitch streams, and you earn ad revenue, which can be adjusted based upon how many ads you run, and then bits and cheers, which are like donations. Twitch is going to take a cut of all those things. That's the cost of doing business on Twitch. Now, on one thing about Twitch, which I do, different streamers will do different things. Some people on Twitch like to run like mini games for their community to do. I don't like to do that because I don't want people in my chat paying attention to mini games. I want people paying attention to the chat or me. So I like people to either be here to watch me or they're interacting with each other in the chat. So when we're always multi-streaming on YouTube, Twitch, Kick, and TikTok. So when people are on Twitch, they're interacting with each other on Twitch. When people are on YouTube, they're interacting with each other on YouTube. You're going to notice that I don't run any chat on my screens. That is because I'm multi-streaming, and Twitch has a requirement that says they don't want me to have anything on the screen that takes users away from the Twitch experience. So for people who enjoy the Twitch experience, they can focus on Twitch chat. And if you don't care about where you're watching, you can watch me on YouTube, Kick, TikTok, wherever. You know what I mean? It's just however you want to watch, I'm fine with, because I'm earning ad revenue no matter where. Twitch is specific though. I don't run minigames, but I do have the Renfail Rant series. And what is the Renfail Rant series? So when someone watches me on Twitch, they earn channel points. And then you can set up these tiers where viewers can cash in those points in exchange for something. I think I have like some generic stuff in there, like in real life word bans. So someone will redeem like 100 points and I'm not allowed to say the word dog for the next 20 minutes or something. You know, there's generic stuff like that. And then at 5,000 channel points, which takes quite a while to rack up. Like, you have to watch for several streams to be able to rack up 5,000 channel points. But if you have watched my stream reliably on Twitch and you've racked up 5,000 channel points, you can claim a Renfail rant. And as long as it's not something super offensive, I can then give you your Renfail rant. And it's the topic of your choice. I have a series on YouTube. So this is how I'm getting monetized in 2 different ways for this series. So this is a little bit of a monetization strategy here. So there's multiple things happening here. One, I've inspired people to watch me on Twitch because they want to earn channel points. So I've got them watching me on Twitch, which means I'm earning ad revenue from them while they're on Twitch. They're contributing to the Twitch chat occasionally, and they may or may not subscribe as well if they are a hardcore Twitch user. They then redeem channel points to get a Renfail rant. So they have been on my channel watching me and earning me ad revenue for several streams, and then they claim a Renfail rant. That gets turned into a 15 to 30 minute discussion, which we always do live. That then gets clipped out, put onto YouTube as a fresh piece of content, which then earns me ad revenue over on YouTube. Something I do there is I have channel memberships, and one of the things I do with channel memberships on YouTube is I have early access to all of my videos for channel members. So if you are a paying subscriber, everyone always gets 24 to 48 hour access, if they are channel members, to the Renfail rants. So if they miss the rant when it happens live, they get early access to it over on YouTube before it goes out to the general public, which is when I blast it out to everybody and my social media, which now leads us over to YouTube. So we've talked a little bit about Twitch, how we monetize Twitch, how we Bubbaloni says, when I redeemed a rant this morning, I have enough channel points to redeem 35 of them. Bubbaloni has been a longtime friend and supporter of us. He's had channel memberships on YouTube since I had channel memberships, which is coming up on, I think we've had channel memberships for something like 4 years. And I think we saw it was 35 or 36 months over on Twitch recently, which I think is as long as we've been doing, it's like as long as we've been doing Twitch, something like that. Anyway, Bubbaloni redeemed the rant during this afternoon, or this morning's, we were watching the Black Flag Resynced live stream during that watch party. He claimed a Renfail rant, which I immediately clipped out after the stream, uploaded it to YouTube. That is already up for channel members on YouTube to watch, but it's scheduled to go out to the general public tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Meanwhile, there's already a Renfail rant scheduled to go out tonight at 7 p.m. Central on the channel, but channel members already have access to that if they are a paying subscriber or a paying channel member over on YouTube. So we've talked a little bit about the Twitch part of thing. We've already talked about Patreon and etc. Now let's move over to YouTube. So there are multiple questions that Bubbaloni asked, which I think we can let me dive into this really quick. Channel memberships, should I set those up or wait? You should definitely set them up. What's the downside for a newly monetized channel to set those up? No downside. Do I get to choose levels? Yes. My preference is for a low price to start out with, but try to stay within a row. Okay, so here's what I did in the very beginning, and I learned this the hard way. When I first started my channel memberships, I was like, I'm too lazy to set up additional tiers. I'm just going to have one tier and that's it. So I set it at like $5 or something, and that was it. And I did have, I think when I first, as soon as I got channel memberships, it was a couple of months after I got monetized, I got access to channel memberships. This has been a few years ago now, like 4.5 years ago or something. So I don't remember the exact timeline. But as soon as I got access to them, I just set up one tier, and that was it. And I had like 25, 30 people who immediately signed up for memberships. And some of those people, like Bubalonia, Dribrom, there's like half a dozen people, I think, who have maintained a membership since I turned channel memberships on. So they've been members for years. And I thank you for that a lot. But I only had one tier. And I had people ask me continually, could you please set up additional tiers? And I was always very reluctant to do that because more tiers is more work. It's more administrative work for me. Because then I got to come up with all the additional things and what do we do for the different tiers and everything else. Here's what I have learned in the time since then, and what I would recommend If I was talking to myself from 4 years ago and I was setting up memberships for the first time, this would be the advice I would give. Don't worry about having a bunch of stuff for all the different tiers. That's just extra head work. It's just extra work. Don't create extra work for yourself. The reason people want additional tiers is because everybody's got a different budget and everybody wants to contribute in some way, shape, or form. So, to answer these multiple questions, should I set those up? Yes. There's no downside. Do I choose the levels? Yes. So you get to choose the levels. You also get to choose the perks. There's a drop-down list on YouTube of all these different things that you can include for members. And you can also set up custom things for channel members if you want to set up custom things for channel memberships on YouTube. You can totally set up custom things if you want. But here's my suggestion. My suggestion would be pick like 4 or 5 different tiers. Start with a low one. I think mine is set at like $2.99 or something. You can have your basic tier. That's the only RENs, right? That's the general membership that everyone gets access to. What do you get for $3 a month? You get access to member-only polls, the early access to videos, which I just mentioned, and member-only videos that I do 2 to 3 times a month, where I do things like channel analytics, income reports. I've been tracking all of the data for this channel since I got monetized and went full-time on this. So I've been tracking, I was making $2 a day, and then $3 a day, and then $12 a day, and then $30 a day, and then $50 a day, and then $100. Like, I've been tracking income and channel analytics since we got monetized and we went full-time on this. That's all available to channel members, and there are hundreds of channel member videos that I've recorded over the years. I've also done things like life updates and business plans, and here's our goals for 2026, and then we do the great big analytic report at the end of every year. We talk about how much money did we make for the year before, how many followers did we gain across all the social medias, what did the year look like, what are we planning for the year ahead. We do all those types of things for our channel members on YouTube. These are in between the streams, by the way. This is not related to streaming. This is just, we're talking about channel memberships right now. So my suggestion is, you start with a basic tier of like $2 or $3 a month, something cheap that is the cup of coffee that someone can buy you as a tip. And you give them access to early access. That's an easy thing to do. Early access to videos. Then every time you publish a video, there's a drop down when you make a video live on YouTube, and you could tell it to set it to go out to members now and then the general public later. And you get to set that. And then it immediately gives everybody who's a channel member on YouTube early access to that video. So those Renfail rants that people can claim live, that we mentioned earlier, which happened during the live stream, but can only be claimed by our Twitch users who are watching live on Twitch. When they're live, we get to do those. For people who miss those, it's not a big deal because you can watch those later when they come out on YouTube. But if you're a paying member on YouTube, you get to watch them immediately, because as soon as I wrap up every single stream, the very first thing I do before I go do anything else, I might go take a bio, but as soon as I'm done with every single stream, I immediately clip out, I timestamp everything, and I immediately sit down and I clip out the Renfail rants. I push those over to YouTube, give them a thumbnail, set them to go out to channel members, set a date for it to go out to the public, and then I forget about it. When it goes live to the public, I then do a social media blast, and we'll share it out on Twitter, and Twitter X, Blue Sky, Facebook, and our Discord, right? So, basic channel membership, like $3 a month or something on YouTube. The easiest thing to do is just early access to all of your videos. You don't even have to do anything else other than that if you don't want to. If you want to, though, you can also do what I've done and you can record private videos for your channel members. Apart from that, I think you can have any set of tiers that you want, because really what it's about is different people have different budgets and they all want to support you. So you can have a $3 a month thing, a $10 a month thing, a $25 a month thing, and a $50 a month thing. And then if you want to have a big one, you can have like a $100 a month thing for the people who are whales who want to throw $100 your way. That way, you give everybody the chance to support you however they want. You don't have to set up any additional tiers if you don't want to, because that's just after head work. I used to do lots of different things for the tiers, and over the years I have reduced those things because it was just way too much legwork, and nobody really cared about the additional things. I had perks in there like call outs and, you know, like member only polls. No one gave a shit about any of that stuff. So I literally have gotten rid of it over time. And all that people really care about is they want a way to support. And everybody's got a different budget. So some people can support at $3 a month. Some people can support at $15 a month. Some people want to do $25 a month. Some people will dip in and do like a $25 a month here for like 1 month of the year, and then they're just a $3 a month subscriber the rest of the year. And some people will jump in and do like 3 months at $15 a month, and then they won't do anything for 6 months. And then they'll come back when you're playing a different game, and they might do the $3 a month option because everybody's budgets are different. So having lots of options is a good thing because it just gives people more ways to support you. I don't think you need anything extra for those tiers. I think that that's just way too much work that you're creating for yourself on the back end. So I would say you don't need to worry about that. But to specifically answer Bubbliness questions, you should not wait. Set those up immediately. You can choose your levels, start with a low price point, and those are the tips that I could give on the monetization structure for YouTube. It's really easy to set up. Something else that I have, and I think you could do this for Twitch as well. I've never done it with Twitch. I have custom icons on YouTube for tiers. So once you've been a subscriber for, like, as soon as you join OnlyRens, you get a special icon on YouTube. So if you're seeing in chat, when you guys are chatting on YouTube in particular, and again, this is stuff that I don't show on screen because we can't show these things on screen when we're live because of the restrictions on multi-streaming. But like if you notice on Twitch as an example, if someone is a subscriber, they have like a star. And I could set up icons on Twitch, and I probably need to do this. I've just been really lazy about it. But like on YouTube years ago, I set it up where I have different lengths of memberships have different icons. So if you've been a subscriber for 1 month, you have this icon. If you've been a subscriber for 3 months, you have this icon. A subscriber for 6 months, you have this icon. If you've been a subscriber for 12 months, you have this icon. I think that those are great, and I really need to do those for Twitch. I've just been lazy about doing that. Now, apart from that, I didn't do a merch store until last year. I was 4 years into doing this full time before I decided to do a merch store. And the reason I took so long to do a merch store is because I have found over the years that a merch store doesn't really make any money. It's really just a cool way of having something additional that you can have that you can offer to your community, right? Because the reality about merch is you really have to push merch if you want to make money at merch. There is a guy I follow on TikTok who's a book author, and he has something like 1.5 million followers on TikTok, and he's got hundreds of thousands of followers on YouTube, and he is a very successful book author. And he has had some really great content over the years on how he can have a post that goes viral on YouTube or TikTok or something, and let's say it gets 150,000 views. And he's like, that's awesome. It got 150,000 views. He said, I make more money in ad revenue than I will make in book sales off of a video that does like 1 million views. He's like, I get 1 million view video on TikTok. You know, I might make $150, $200 off of that TikTok video, right? 150. He says I might make $15 in book sales. Because it's like you would think that 1 million view video on TikTok would sell me 1,500 copies. He's like, no, it might sell 5 copies. It might sell 5 copies. He's like, viral traffic does not equate book sales. In order to make merch sales work, you have to, every single time you have the opportunity, push the merch. That's it. You want to make merch work for you. If you want merch to be a thing that makes money, you have to sell the merch. You have to always be selling. That's it. Always be selling. If you've ever seen Boiler Room, that's it. Always be selling. You have to be constantly hawking your shit to people to get them to buy your shit. Because if you don't remind people that you have a merch store, nobody gives a shit. You can have the links everywhere. No one will buy that shit unless you're constantly sticking it in their face, dropping the link in chat, reminding people that you have a merch store. Don't forget the merch store. Click the link, 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 click the link. Doesn't matter if you're using your own coffee mug. Doesn't matter if you're using your own shirt. No one will fucking buy your merch unless you hawk your merch. That is way too much work for me personally. So I was very reluctant to do merch for a very long time. But I was finally convinced to do merch, specifically because we were getting so many trolls last year. I was like, you know what? I'm going to set up a merch store just so that I can do what some of my other favorite content creators do, which is every time we get a trolly piece of shit, I could take that troll's name and use it as a discount code and like use it to hawk merch. And I've done that a couple of times and it works, but it's also work. It's work. And I don't need the money that the merch store generates. Like it's icing on the cake. It's just there. I have a merch store. There's 15, 20 sets of merch in there. T-shirts, coffee mugs, water bottles, shit like that. Sweaters, hoodies. It's there. But I don't hawk it very often. It's like my Amazon store. I mention it, but I don't ever share the links in chat. I just mention it that I have a merch store, that I have an Amazon store. And then it's up to you, the user, to go look through my Twitch or my Instagram or my TikTok or my YouTube and find the link and go click 3 different times, and it's a pain in the ass. And you know, it's not something that I worry about. It's just something that's there. It's shit I've done in the past. I've written books. I've sold books. I used to, you know, it's cool. It's like I used to do that full time. I don't do that full time anymore. I made a full time living as an author for many, many years. I don't do that anymore, but I do still have the books available for sale, so people can go buy them. And then the merch store. To be honest with you, I don't pay attention until the end of the year. It's literally, I get sales data, and it's not a big deal to me. I just sort of like, you know, at the end of the year when it's tax time, I take the I take the 1099 and I put the figures in and I send it off to the accountant, and that's how much the merch store means to me, or the bookstore. It's just like, okay, cool. I made an extra few $100, few $1,000, whatever it is. It's, you know, I got to burn that money up with tax deductions somewhere. So let's see if there's anything else I can add to that conversation. I'm thinking here. So I've covered Twitch subscriptions. I've covered Patreon and or Ko-Fi, there's another one like coffee something, like buy me a coffee or something. I can't remember. There's options other than Patreon. Oh, Patreon tiers. I could talk about this briefly. So in the past, I used to use Patreon a lot. So my brother and I we fully funded our last game dev project, was fully funded through Patreon. So my brother, my wife, and I did a tabletop game, point-and-click adventure game, and a book that went with it, like Dragonlance style. And that was fully funded through Patreon. It paid for all of our contractors. It paid for all of our business expenses. It paid for all of our assets from the Unreal store. It paid for my wife's tablet, her office chair. It paid for everything. Like, it paid for all of the expenses were paid through Patreon. And that was roughly 3 years of time to build that and release all the things. And that was done all through Patreon. And before that, I used Patreon when I was an author. I used to sell books through Patreon. I would sell short stories through Patreon. I also did a lot of game dev stuff through Patreon. I had a Diary of an Indie Game Dev when I was the CEO of the game studio and the creative director on the MMO for like 7 years. That was all done through my Patreon. And before that, we did the Lord of the Rings Online Cooking in Real Life show. We did the YouTube videos were public, but then all the photos and the recipes were private for subscribers. And we used to do travel. When my wife and I were travel blogging, we ran everything through the Patreon. So the Patreon, I've had Patreon for, it's got to be at least 12, 15 years I've been doing. However long Patreon has been around, I have had a Patreon page. So if you go to my Patreon right now, I only post there like once or twice a year. It's literally just there as an additional way of if someone wants to like throw me $15 or whatever, they can. I have a few people who do annual subscriptions. And then I have people who just drop money once in a blue moon, and it's not something I promote anymore. So I don't really have that many people over on Patreon anymore because I haven't, the last game dev project we did, which I think was 3 years ago. 2 years ago was when we published. 2.5 years ago, I think, was when we finished. Ever since then, I've just let that Patreon page sort of go dormant. I might do an update every 6 months, and it's usually a life update. And I have like a couple of tiers that are set up. And I do plan on continuing to have a Patreon until they no longer exist. And the current plan is that for those of you who have been around a long time, you know this because we've talked about this in the channel member videos on YouTube and also on the Patreon page. And this goes into the monetization thing. I have been making a living online in front of a camera since 2008. And so I've done the iterations of this. Back in the day, I used to make money with a blog and selling ad revenue on the blog. I used to do ebooks exclusively through, now I'm forgetting the name of the place that I used to sell ebooks through. Can't remember the name of the place I used to sell ebooks through. There's 2 different places where I would sell my ebooks through. It wasn't Amazon, it was other places. But like blog revenue, we used to sell advertising on the blog. We used to sell books through different websites. And then of course we would get lots of contracts to do sponsored blog posts and stuff. And this is before ad revenue was even a thing on YouTube. Sponsored posts were a thing on blogs before they were sponsored on Instagram. The point I'm getting at, though, is I've talked about, like, the Patreon page for me is where I talk about the future book projects, because I do have an upcoming fantasy book series that I'm going to be working on once I get the home. So we have the Homestead. We have the Homestead YouTube channel. It's not monetized. It's just something we do in our spare time. I'm doing this right now as our retirement. This right here is literally fueling my retirement fund, which is why we have the merch in the merch store that says Troll Tears Fuel My Retirement. Because literally every time one of these whiny little bitches comes on my streams and cries, it's just money in my bank because you're rage watching me, giving me ad revenue, and filling up my retirement fund. That's literally what it is. I paid for this place in cash. We bought the investment property in cash. We put the new roof, the expansion roof on this place. We're looking at a 3rd property to buy at the end of this year. Probably going to buy a car this year. I just have the... I'm going to flex a little bit here. So everybody who says that Starfield is shit and the game is dead and nobody... So it was the best-selling game last week in the United States, digital and physical sales for Bethesda. I had already... We're only 23 days into the month. This has already been my #1 best performing month financially and analytically. So a record amount of followers and a record amount of money. All of it because of Starfield, a game that is supposedly a dead game. And all of this is because of the people who rage watch my content and send me death threats because I'm a Bethesda cuck and I've got a white beard because this is actually Todd Howard's jizz stains. Like all those trolls who send me messages like that, that is money in my bank, bitches. It's just money in my fucking coffers to fill up. So my long-term plan, as our channel members and long-term community members know, is that here in a couple of years, by the time I'm 50, I'm 46 right now, right? By the time I'm 50, I will keep doing this for as long as I'm able to. Thanks for that Twitch sub. Kiss my axe. So as long as I'm able to do this, if I could be Skyrim grandma doing this in my 90s, I'll fucking do this in my 90s. But the plan is, by the time I'm 50, we're going to build our dream house. which is going to have a writing studio for me and an art studio for Chris where she can paint and do sculpting because that's what she likes to do, and play guitar. That's what my wife wants to do. So that's what she's going to get to do. And I want a good writing studio, which is also a gaming studio. And then I'm going to go back into writing for the rest of my life. I'm just going to spend my twilight years writing science fiction and fantasy novels, documenting that process on Patreon, and selling those books through Patreon and Amazon and other places. That is my long-term retirement goal, is to stream video games as long as I'm able to and healthy enough to do so, and just go back to selling books once I finish building the dream home and all that stuff. And I have until 50. So right now we're literally just shopping for properties and saying, where do we want to build? Like, we really like the forest property, but we'd like something a little bit bigger. Can we find something a little bit bigger? Let's keep shopping around, you know? So this all turns into that Patreon page that's just sitting there dormant. I occasionally will update that Patreon page with like a life update or a book update and say, I've been plinking around with the outline and, you know, but I'm not actively writing anything. I have 25 million words published around the world over, you know, however many years I've done that as a career. I don't need to write anymore. I've done it. I've been successful in that arena. I've been a game dev. I've published games. I've been successful in that arena. I had a construction company. I was successful in that arena. I'm now doing game streaming, and I'm successful in this arena. So I've done all my bucket list shit, and now I'm just sitting here doing this for funsies and making money while doing it and sharing tips and advice with people. And eventually, I will go back to writing books again once I accomplish the next set of goals that I have, which we're doing with these streams right now. So, in terms of, you know, this tying into the monetization of, and thank you for letting me flex there for a minute. I mentioned all of that to mention this. Layers upon layers is the monetization thing. And you'll see a lot of people who will say things, and you've all seen the trolls, guys. You've all seen the trolls. You've only got, like right now, we only have 14 people. So we have 13, 14. It's fluctuating. I have like 14 people on TikTok. We have, I don't think anybody watching on Kick right now. Let me refresh the page. I have one person on Kick. I have 62 on Twitch, and I have 60 on YouTube. Right? Okay? That's a fairly robust, you know, let's say 130. We've probably been fluctuating, it looks like. So 130, let's just say 120 to 150 people on average watching. And you got a lot of people who make some comment, like on TikTok. You've only got 13 people watching on TikTok. There's no way that you're making a full-time living at this. Bitch, please. There's ad revenue. There's subscriptions. Gyard did a 1,000-bit cheer earlier on Twitch. That's revenue. We have the ad revenue for everybody watching on Twitch. We have the ad revenue of people who are watching on Twitch to earn Twitch points to spend on their next Renfail rant. I have the Renfail rants, which get turned into pieces of content, which I spin out on YouTube, which get turned into ad revenue, which earn ad revenue. I also promote those to our channel members ahead of time, so I inspire people to sign up for a membership on YouTube if they want to see those videos early access. I also have videos like this, which get clipped out and put onto YouTube and earn me ad revenue on YouTube. I have almost 12,000 videos on YouTube built up over the last 4.5 years, every single one of which is earning me ad revenue passively over time without me having to lift a finger. Some of those videos earn fractions of pennies per day, some of them earn pennies per day, and some of them earn dollars per day. New ones tend to earn tens of dollars per day. It all adds up together. You've only got 13 viewers on TikTok. There's no way you're making money at this. Then I think we have 5 tiers of memberships on YouTube. I have a $3 tier, a $10 tier, a $15 tier, a $25 tier, and I think a $50 tier on YouTube. Then I have the Patreon page, which has, I believe, 2 tiers. I have a merch store which has a dozen different types of merch that people can buy, and I have an Amazon store where people can buy copies of my books. On top of that, I do sponsored reviews, sponsored streams, and on top of that, we do campaigns. I also do the occasional consultation from time to time. So when you take all of these different things and layer them all together, maybe you're making $500 a month here, $300 a month there, $75 a month here, $1,200 a month here, $3,000 a month there. It all adds up over time. And the biggest tip I can give anybody who wants to do this is just layer everything. Don't limit yourself to one platform. Be everywhere all the time, and you'll be good to go. Now, I'm in a weird position because I can't monetize my I cannot earn ad revenue from my TikTok or my Instagram. And if I was earning ad revenue from my TikTok and my Instagram, I would be making a hell of a lot more money than I'm making now. And I make a very comfortable living. But because of where I started those accounts, because my residency where I am right now with the homestead, because I started those accounts where I started those accounts, I'm not allowed to earn ad revenue on Instagram and TikTok. I have about 46,000 on Instagram, and we do about 3 million views per month on Instagram. Just on Instagram alone, I do like 3 million views a month. TikTok's growing. I think we're about 23,000 on TikTok. I think we're like 1.3, 1.5 million a month on TikTok. If you live in a country where you can earn ad revenue on those platforms, it does take time to build those up, but that's also ad revenue that you can add on top of like YouTube and Twitch. But here's the other thing too. Companies pay me to do sponsored shit. So even though I'm not earning ad revenue on those platforms, I do get paid to post sponsored shorts on those, which is why it's important to have a following on these platforms, even if you're not necessarily earning ad revenue on these platforms, because you can earn sponsorships from companies who want to pay you to sponsor their stuff and promote their stuff on these social media platforms. Get layered. You got to have layers to everything. Do not put all your eggs in one basket. Be everywhere all at once. Definitely have a Patreon at the very beginning before you ever earn affiliate status on Twitch or YouTube members partnership, because you can be sending people to your Patreon page to support you that way. And whether or not you want to do tiers there is entirely up to you. But I think I've covered everything. Does anybody have any follow-up questions to monetization? But I do think I've covered all the questions that Babylonia had, and also covered Twitch. And so I will say something else. So I added Kick and TikTok to my live streaming at the end of last year in November. Not because of income per se, but for visibility, to push people to YouTube and Twitch. So I'm not monetized in those places, but it does bring people in. The other thing I will say as Kick I can eventually get monetized on, but it takes a lot of time to get Kick off the ground, and I don't push people to Kick all the time. So I anticipate Kick might take 2 or 3 years to get monetized if it exists in 2 or 3 years. So that's another thing where if it eventually gets monetized, that's great. But in the meantime, it's just I can earn membership revenue from Kick, and I do have a couple of people who run memberships there. So it might only be $10 a month or whatever that I get from Kick, but I do earn revenue from Kick, even though I'm not earning ad revenue from them yet. I've already uploaded that. Jay the Gamer 1993. I've already covered that particular question in one of the earlier episodes in the playlist. So I would suggest you go dive into the earlier episodes on the playlist on how to make a living as a content creator and streamer on YouTube, because I did cover that specifically. We talk about uploads versus streaming versus all that stuff. Yes, I could, Babylonia, but that's not the issue. The issue is where the accounts were founded and where the accounts are based on a regular basis. And you can use VPNs to get around some of that stuff, but there's a lot of weirdness with, it creates more headaches than it's worth. So it's like, could I be earning an extra $300 a month or something if I had TikTok monetized? Yeah, but it's that's at that point, I'm at the level where I don't really stress about a few $100 a month because I don't have to. It's a nice place to be. I realize that I am in a luxurious place, knock on wood. it is. This is another tip that I can get, and this will probably need to be spun out into another episode. So, one of the conversations I had years ago with like 7 different lawyers when we were doing all the foundation stuff. When I was founding the MMO studio, I was talking to a lot of different game studio heads and talking to several different lawyers, like half a dozen lawyers. And one of the biggest pieces of advice that every single lawyer and every single studio head gave me across the board was, until you're making $100,000 a year in revenue for whatever it is that you're doing, don't worry about incorporating. Don't worry about trademarks. Don't worry about none of that stuff matters if you are just starting from scratch, because the chances of you getting it to the point where it's going to make $100,000 a year is pretty low unless you're extremely dedicated and you're really busting your ass. And it might take 5, 6, 7 years before you get to that point. So unless you're independently wealthy and you can afford to do all the copywriting and trademarking, and more importantly, defend all the trademarks, because that's a part of it. You can't just have a trademark. You have to have a trademark and defend the trademark. And in order to do that, you need to be independently wealthy or have a revenue stream that can cover the cost of setting up the trademarks and defending the trademarks against infringement. That is a whole nother ball game, which is when you pay lawyers to do that shit for you, which means if you have enough money to be paying a team of lawyers to do that, you are definitely making more than $100,000 a year. So, like the whole forming of companies and all that other stuff, it's really make sure that you're making $100,000 a year with whatever it is that you're doing before you need to worry about things. So you can operate as a sole proprietor and you'll never need to worry about any of that stuff. Because of the fact that, for example, my username, Renfail, is that trademarked? Nope. Do I need to worry about it? Nope. Why? Because I've been using this username since the 90s as my gamer tag, and I have thousands of videos, and I have done hundreds, if not thousands, of interviews as Renfail, and I've done podcast episodes and public speaking engagements and all this other shit where it is very clear that I'm actively using the Renfail username as my active username, so I don't have to worry about that. The only reason I would need to trademark myself is if I was worried about someone trying to use AI to appear as me and starting a new channel as if they were Renfail. That would be an area where it would be easier to just set up the trademark to defend my likeness with a legal property to take that person to court. It would be easier than to do it the way I am right now, which is just a sole proprietor, because it's just a more lengthy court process if you don't have everything trademarked. But because I actively use everything, it's, these are just, I'm not a legal person, by the way. You should definitely seek your own legal advice on that kind of stuff and talk to your accountant. But that's just some tips I can give at the end of this little discussion. Holy shit, that went on for like 45 plus minutes. There you go. That'll be in the episode later. And if you're a channel member on YouTube, you'll get early access to this video when it goes out. But there's no way you're making a full-time living, Renfail. You've only got 10 people watching on TikTok. That's right, bitch. All right, that is probably a great place for me to take a quick break, actually. I just put my gloves on and then I realized it's almost 4 o'clock. Let me go feed my cats and etc. And then we will be back to continue onwards, because we got about another couple hours in the tank here. But I do need to go feed the animals, take a bio, check on my wife. 5 to 10 minutes. If the stream drops because of the internet, because I do live in the middle of nowhere in the backwoods on a homestead, I'll be back as quickly as possible, unless it's a power outage, but you never know. But otherwise, if I do disappear and I'm gone for more than 10 minutes, I won't be coming back anytime soon. But if I do drop, and even if I don't, this is the perfect time to get over to YouTube, get over to YouTube, get over to YouTube, get over to YouTube, do the YouTube thing. Don't forget the Discord. I'll be back. It's officially hot where I live now. I just stepped outside for a few minutes. It's like, whew. It is currently 36 Celsius, 96 Fahrenheit. It's gonna be 101 tomorrow. Ugh. We are there. Summertime is here. All right, we are back. Not only have I seen the Black Flag Resynced trailer excellence, I did a watch party for the entire event earlier today. New episode in the bank. No, I've been online at this hour. Like, I've been playing this time for like the last 2 weeks. 3 weeks, maybe. I usually start about 1 and go till about 5, like 4 or 5. Today I started about 2. So I'm going to probably run until about 6 because I'm only 2 hours into the stream. So I've still got another 2 hours left. Ish. I think in about 1 hour, we'll hit our 100-hour mark in Starfield. Machine X, like, I'm the only one who's certified as machine. I don't know, Bert Kreiser might have something to say about that as well. So we are at 96, 97, 98, 99. 1 hour to go. We're going to hit the 100-hour mark in Starfield, and I have a special video we're going to make. So in about an hour, we're going to go record another video, I think, if my voice holds up. Hang on, gotta put my old man gloves on. I wouldn't say, yeah, good old Bert. I mean, I appreciate that, Bubbles. Rid is a machine, power to the young and energized. I wouldn't say that I'm young and energized. I would say that I am. I think that this is we live in a day and age where creators can make money regardless of their age. So if you are in a blessed enough position to have monetized yourself in a digital format, there are no limits to what you can do as long as your eyesight, your hands, your back, as long as your health is there. So my whole perspective on this is that as long as I mean, I would be playing games anyway because this is just what I like to do. I like to watch TV shows and I like to play video games. So I would be doing these things anyway, regardless of if I was online in front of a camera. So to be able to make money doing it is icing on the cake because I get to monetize my hobby. Now, is there a lot of like work that goes on? Yeah, I mean, I do spend a lot of time doing video editing and stuff, but I'm not nearly as hungry or as motivated as some of these young streamers who are out there like doing the IRL thing and they're like going to all these events and they're like I saw some of the I saw like 6 or 7. I don't know why they were popping up on my Twitter feed. Something got triggered in the algorithm, but they were doing the media kit. They had like their media kits. They were sharing their media kits on Twitter X. Like, hey companies, I want to work with you. I've got this many followers on this platform, and I'm like, oh, thank God I don't have to do that shit, because that's for the young and the hungry. Like, you're pitching yourself to the brands because you want to work with them. So you're literally putting your knee pads on and offering to suck everybody's dick and do the reach around just to try to make a few bucks. And it's like, I've been there. I was a freelancer for 20 years. I don't miss a day of that shit. I am very content to be able to do what I want when I want and just create my own content and have that content be monetized and not have to be, I don't need to be that young and hungry. Like, I'm not trying to buy a, $1.5 million rundown piece of shit house in a horrible economy. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not paying $6,000 a month rent. ROMO, the relief of missing out. Yes, it's not FOMO, it's Romo. I fucking love it. I don't have to deal with any of that shit. And it's nice because I see some of these streamers who are like doing media kits and they're going to all the events and they're trying so hard to impress the influencer managers for all these companies, and I'm like, goddamn, I don't miss that shit. I'm very happy that I'm not there. I'm beyond that point, and it's a very, I don't take for granted where I am because I was there at one point. As a freelancer, I mean, that's all I did was pitch. You're constantly pitching, and then raising money for an MMO, you're pitching to investors, and you're pitching to game studios, and you're pitching, and your life is all about pitch decks and presentations. And when I was doing speaking engagements, it was always about preparing slides and, you know, doing, and then consultations. And like, I don't miss a day of that. Like, being a content creator is hands down the best job of all time, and anybody who can get to that position where they can manage their entire finances through content creation, whether it's through an OnlyFans account, more power to you. Do whatever the fuck you can to control your own destiny. I don't give a shit how you make money online. If you can make money online to pay your bills, fucking do it. That is an amazing thing. It's an amazing place to be. Don't let anybody tell you, because anybody who's worked a soul-sucking job understands what it's like to work a soul-sucking job. You know, and not only that, but like, I remember when I worked construction, like living in Greeley, Colorado, and commuting to Denver, Colorado every fucking day for 7 years, 6 days a week. An hour and 45 minutes with no traffic, 3 hours with traffic. Every day, one way. So every day I was spending, on average, 3 hours a day, 3.5 hours a day in my vehicle. Every fucking day. 6 days, well, not every day, but 6 days a week for 7 years. Commuting to work construction along the Front Range in Colorado. I don't miss a moment of that. You know how many hours I wasted of my life sitting in a fucking vehicle in traffic in downtown Denver in rush hour on I-25? Fuck that. I don't have any commute. I literally roll out of this bed right here, get up, make a coffee, feed my cats, change the litter boxes, and start my day. No commute. That alone, like, I'm not trying to brag or anything. I'm just, like, being grateful, knock on wood, all those things. But it's like, I've been there. I've done that. You're sitting in traffic for 4 hours a day, on top of working an 8-hour shift. Dude, that sucks ass. It sucks. Like, you're going and doing back-breaking physical labor, rain, snow, sleet, or shine, and then you're sitting in traffic and you're tired, and you're trying to stay awake because you can't fall asleep while you're driving because you're a hazard to other people. So you're putting in a 12-hour day every single day. No. Do anything you can to make money online, kids.
Look who's back. All set with that probationary mission? We can do your debrief and formally welcome you into the Vanguard whenever
Stevie
you're
says
ready.
my main event is a tattoo expo. There you go. I need your permission to develop a terramorph tissue sample.
A terror? What? How did you walk away with the terramorph tissue sample running comms repairs? What happened to the settlers?
Unfortunately, they all died to a terramorph, which I took care of.
You killed a terramorph on your first mission. If I could be frank for a moment, holy shit. Above and beyond doesn't really begin to describe it now, does it? Earned yourself some serious hazard pay on this one. But, if none of the settlers made it, who's got you delivering this sample?
Yeah, bad company. I did third generation ceramic tile and natural stone contractor. So I was on job sites from the time I was 5 years old. Mixing thin set, grouting floors, sweeping, making cuts on a saw, on an angle grinder, carrying trash, huffing down concrete dust. I did that shit all the time, all until I was 28 years old. That's what I did. And then my dad also had a dairy farm, so, and I was homeschooled for several years. That sucked. That sucked really bad. Like, there was 6 years where I was homeschooled in my, you know, early teens, from like, I think it was from the time we were like 9 years old until I was like eight or nine, up until 15, 16, something like that. It sucked. Like, we had, so I was getting up at 4 o'clock in the morning to get the cows up, to milk the cows, do the chores, feed all the bottle calves, everything else. And then I'm homeschooled. And so I go do classwork, and then my dad's taking me off to job sites, and I got to work all day on the fucking job sites. And then I come home, and guess what I get to do when I get home? I got to go get the cows up and milk the cows again at like 5 or 6 o'clock at night. And then I get to do homework. And then, yay, I get to get up and do it again tomorrow. Like, at no point was any of that fun. And, I feel for Gray, because Gray drives every day. I know Gray, that's what Gray does in between his streams. He drives in Arizona. He just spends his day in a vehicle.
Right?
But like construction, I never had, I've been working full time since I was 5 years old, because my dad was literally like, I'm going to squirt out kids so that I can have free labor on the farm and to help me with my construction company, because that's what his dad did to him and his brothers. And so it was like, and my cousins, all the same thing. Like, they were all all of us from the time we were like 5 years old. Like, I was literally driving a tractor at 5, like shoveling cow shit and hooking up a PTO shaft and hydraulic shit to a tractor at like 5, 6 years old. Like, hauling hay, driving the truck around at like 7, and like, I've done my time.
I really
It
need to know what happened out there.
sucks. So yes, anybody who has ever done backbreaking labor as a blue-collar worker, you have the utmost respect, and it is not easy. And I hope to God you're getting paid union wages, because it sucks otherwise.
A researcher. Let me see that. Sanan.
Yeah, it's a brutal drive,
I
Jaeger.
know that name. Let me check the database. A lot of this data's been classified. Here we go. Service record. Wow.
I'm right there with you,
That's a lot of
Susan Hawk.
commendations.
I am.
Seems like she served with distinction as
Technically, I'm not childless
co-head
because
of
of
the
trauma,
UC's
but
Xenowaters division.
I am
Faced
mostly no
tribunal
contact
under the
with my
colony
parents,
war.
for sure.
And was dismissed from duty. Guess that's why I'd heard the name before.
We did try to have
She's
kids,
former
but
Xeno
Chris had an
warfare, though.
ectopic pregnancy,
Well,
and we're
can at least be
unable
sure
to have
she knows her
children. So
aliens.
we are living through our grandniece right now. Having her here Monday through Friday is a dream come true, because we got to skip the diet, we got to skip the diapers and all that. Like, she was still wearing diapers when she started coming to school here last, like, 6 months ago, but she's completely potty trained now. She'll wear a diaper at night sometimes just to make sure she doesn't have accidents, but like, she does her own thing. Like, we got her right at the end, so we skipped all the teething and all the, and we just got this really cute 3.5-year-old kid who we get to see Monday through Friday and take to school and do school projects. It's like being a grandparent, so it's like, I'm okay with
really
that.
need to know what happened out there. Certainly seems that way. Did your survivor, Hadrian, she mentioned why she
But
thinks
I
the
have quite a
sample's so
few
special?
Gen X friends who are childless because of trauma. It's like, I'm not going to put a kid in through the world and do that stuff. Machine says landscaping for the family business for 20 years until become a therapist. Yeah, man. Yeah. And I think the coolest thing though about moving on, if you do manage to break away from doing physical stuff and blue collar and whatever it is that you could transition to away, you can look back on that and be like, it's life experience, and it helps you appreciate what you're doing so much more. I like.
See. Wow.
Yeah, you
It's one
escaped.
of the more surprising
You
debriefs
escaped.
I've ever been a part of.
It's like you made it out of
If
prison,
Hadrian
man.
thinks this sample
No,
needs
but
to
I
get
like.
to Mars,
I've
then we're gonna
especially
make
if you
sure it
listen
gets
to
to
like
Mars.
actors,
I'll
people
take
who
care
have
of the
become
clearances and make
wildly
sure you get
successful
your
as
credits.
actors, as an example,
Consider these your first official orders.
and they
Here,
will talk about.
So everyone knows you're working with the Vanguard.
They used to do.
Welcome to the Navy, Captain. Vanguard's also got some custom ship modifications.
Waiting on tables,
You'll be cleared for
or
access to them next time you're down at the spaceport. Talk to ship services.
worked in a warehouse, and they
Now,
worked at Home
if there wasn't
Depot, or
anything else,
we
suggest
have
you move
all
out.
of us worked those low skill, low tier jobs, and when you finally get out of that position, it is just like, oh. And you could generally take that experience to help you do better in your next job. And I would say I was lucky in that I always took care of myself when I was doing it, so I don't have any knee or back problems. My dad and his brothers have all had horrible. My dad's probably had 40 surgeries in his life for his, I mean, knees and back and shoulders and elbows, and he's also had a lot of shit in the ranch. He got double barreled, kicked in the chest by a horse and broke like all of his ribs, and you know, but none of like my uncles, like there's only one of them that's still, well, I guess there's two. Well, one did. Well, the uncle that's still around, he's in his 60s, and I mean, my dad's 60. My dad was born in 61, so that makes him 65? My dad's mid-60s. He's been crippled for 15 years. My dad's been crippled since he was 40, basically. And his uncle has, his brother has been crippled since he was mid-40s. And it's like, I've seen so many guys in construction. I always spent big money on knee pads, like gel knee pads and back braces. The only thing I didn't take care of, and this is why I've told this story before, I had congestive lung failure when I was 22 because I had smoked cigarettes and everything, but concrete dust. I had built up concrete dust in my lungs, and I literally had congestive lung failure at 22 years old. And that was the one thing where, like, I'll never forget, like, literally, we'd be doing like a Walmart or a Safeway, right? Big commercial job. And my uncle and I would be down there with 8-inch cup wheel grinders, grinding the humps out of the floor to make it flat so we could put our tile, and we're not wearing masks. Cigarettes dangling out of our lips. We might have got safety glasses on and earplugs, but no fucking masks. And so we're just like running along, just like, because no one ever told me and I never thought about it. I was a kid. I didn't, you feel great. You're young. You don't care. And then you're just breathing all that concrete dust on top of the cigarette shit inside your lungs. And that was I know my dad's never smoked a day in his life, and he went in. He had some lung stuff that he got checked up on when he was like in his mid 40s, and the doctor was like, "Are you a smoker?" And my dad's like, "No." And he's like, "Your lungs are like the lungs of a smoker." And my dad's never smoked a day in his life, but it's because he spent years just sucking down concrete dust and sawdust and particulate and drywall and God knows what else, silica shit. And how did I give up smokes? Congestive lung failure. Like, that's how I gave up smokes. I went cold turkey, like, at 22 years of age. Now, I have occasionally, it's been a long time. I did for years after, like, I didn't smoke anything for, like, about 6 years after that. But when I was in my late 20s, I did have a brief period where I was living with some people who smoked, and I hadn't had a cigarette in a very long time. And I casually, like when I was 28 to 30, there was about 2 years in there where I would casually, like socially smoke. Like once a month, twice a month, I would socially smoke. But then I think the last time I had a cigarette was probably, Jesus, 2010 maybe. I remember because I was with my neighbor in Cancun, and I'd come home from a thing, and she was sitting out front. She was drinking a beer, and she's like, "Want a beer?" And I was like, "I'll have a beer." So I sat and we were having a beer. She's like, "You want a cigarette?" I was like, "I'll have a cigarette." And I had like 2 puffs and was like, "Ew, I think I'm done." And I haven't touched a cigarette since then. But I do love cigars. Chris and I both love cigars. I like smoking a pipe. I do still like tobacco. And if I have had to struggle, thankfully they don't sell it where I live, because if they sold dip where I live, I would probably dip from time to time. But everybody's doing Zins these days, and I'm like, if they sold Zins where I live, I would totally do Zins, because it's not tobacco, it's just the nicotine, So I would do Zins if they sold Zins where I live, but they don't. But I did dip for the years that I didn't smoke. I dipped, like in my mid 20s. I totally dipped. But yeah, I do still enjoy the green though. on a pretty regular basis. Not every single day, but pretty regularly. Yeah, my wife hates cigarettes too, but cigars, she actually likes cigars, so we've enjoyed cigars. Do you think it's important to get steps in every day, says Phil, to interact with people and get off screens? Well, I live with my wife. My wife is here all day, every day, so I interact with her on a daily basis. Our grandniece is here Monday through Friday. I interact with her on a daily basis. My sister-in-law is here 3-4 times a week. My nieces are here a couple of times a week. My mother-in-law is here a couple of times a week. So I interact with people all the time in and out of my house. I do exercise every single day. I did have a period recently, for those who have been here for a while know this, I had a leg injury in 2024. I fell, splits, and ripped the abductor tendon and nerves and ligaments in my left inside thigh. And I was not able to do any running or exercise for about 1.5 years, but I finished my physical therapy last year, and I have started to get back. I just went for a run last night, actually. I go for pretty much daily walks. I just actually bought... I've been using bands for a long time, but I actually just went and bought... Hang on. Some 10-pound dumbbells a couple months back, so I've been getting back into shape now after my leg injury got healed. And I'm not 100% with the leg injury. I still have bad days, but most days I'm like 95% these days. But I don't do all day, every day in front of the stream. So anyone who's here, I do 4 hours in the morning, and then I take a break. And I come back and I do another 4 hours in the afternoon. And then in between that, I'll do maybe a couple hours in the afternoon, evening of video editing. It's about 10 hours a day. Sometimes a little bit longer. Most days it's about 10 hours a day. I do 4 hours in the morning, and then at 8 o'clock, I take my grandniece to school. I hang out with my wife, go to the grocery store, do any shopping we need to do, hang out with my sister-in-law if she's here. My work-life balance is tits. It is tits. I am not the burnt peanut sitting here for 12 hours a day eating McDonald's and door dashing every fucking thing that I do. I actually cook quite a bit of our meals. I go with Chris to the grocery store as often as I can, which is usually 2 or 3 times a week. I actually was the one who ran all the errands because she's been sick the past few days, so I went and got all the cat food. I went and got groceries. Like, it is important to get up and do shit. Work-life balance is important. I do have a good work-life balance, which is the best part of working at home and having a spouse who stays home, because there's always somebody here to have a sounding board off of. It can be a slippery slope for some people, but thankfully I don't have that issue.
Be careful if you run into those ecliptic jerks.
Get off your fat ass and do some exercise. It is important for mental health and physical health. Which is why I always tell people, because if you're hanging out on our streams, I take breaks about every hour and a half. What do I always tell people? We're going to take 10 minutes. I'm going to go touch grass. I'm going to stretch my eyes. I'm going to do some jumping jacks, some push-ups, some squats. If you'd like me to, I could do them on stream with everybody, and we can get a little bit of a... Maybe do some exercising together if you want to. I'm happy to do that. I usually do it off stream because nobody needs to see my chubby tummy and my heavy breathing. But I'm happy to do it on stream if we need to go that route. Tonight for me is push-ups and squats. Yesterday was pull-ups and lunges at the park. Yesterday morning was push-up and lunges at the park, and then actually, no, that was the day before. Day before was lunges and pull-ups at the park. Last night was a run. Today is push-ups and squats. Tomorrow is dumbbells. And to be honest with you guys, I actually just re-downloaded for the first time in 11 years. I went and got all the P90X videos. Now, I don't know if I'm going to go all in on that, but I used to do... That's all I did when I was like 30 years old, 30 to 32. I just did P90X, and I was pretty shredded in my early 30s, living on the beach and Living in Cancun, it was a good time. It was a different time.
Hope nothing bad happens today.
Let's just say it was good to be a shredded white dude making good money living on the beach in Cancun. I had a lot of fun.
I can't believe.
Excuse me.
Do your part to keep Sidonia.
Let's get our Richard Simmons going. I could get a wig and do Richard Simmons stuff on stream if we need to.
Can you believe people used to think the nearby mountain was a face?
John Alexslager says, I do remember a few months ago you were doing leg stretches on stream. Yeah, so I haven't done those in probably 6 months on stream, but I was for like the whole time I was going through physical therapy. I was doing my leg stretches. I was doing those on stream. I would have to get up every like 45 minutes to an hour and do so. I'm glad you remembered that, because we would literally say, you know, I would do my leg raises, which are these, and then our rotations, which are these over here. I have a slightly different camera layout now, camera angle. But yeah, I was totally doing my my physical therapy workouts. We were doing those like on stream in between my physical therapy sessions. I wouldn't do the full thing, but like leg raises, the rotator cuff exercises, and the
Ask me if you need anything. I'm here to help.
there was like 4 or 5 things. Oh, and stretches. And I still, actually that's not true. I still do right now. You don't see me doing them, but like every once in a while I'll get up from the chair and you'll see me do this. And you're not seeing what I'm doing, but if I can turn the camera here, I'll do it with the other leg.
Hey,
it's literally me
the
getting it up
Sidonian
here on
Trade
the
Authority.
bed and doing this with my leg and putting the foot up, and I'm stretching the calf and the knee out. So if you ever see me get up from the chair and do this, that's literally what I'm doing, is I'm just stretching my leg out, because I still get residual pain from the injury. And then I told everybody this. We went out. I recorded that video for the homestead, the property that we bought in the forest. I think we recorded that video like 3 weeks ago. So Chris and I went out there on a Sunday, and on our way back, I was like, man, I'm having like a major foot cramp, like on the injured leg. I was like, I'm feeling pretty uncomfortable right now. And we were walking up and down the forest trails, like marking out the property line and everything. And it aggravated my leg injury, and I had like about 10 days of just didn't feel. I went from like feeling like 98% down to like 80%, and I had 2 really bad days, Monday and Tuesday after that walk, where it was like my leg injury was like right up against my testicle. It was like, god damn, it feels like I totally like aggravated that whole area again. Because I guess when we were climbing the hill, I just somehow tweaked my tendon or pulled something out of alignment, and it was very aggravated. So yeah, it's life, getting older, injuries, stuff like that. Like,
how's it going?
I need multiple cameras. You know, again, it comes back to that being like, I see some of these streamers and they've got like 5 different cameras, and then they've got a stream board thing that they use where they'll push a button and it switches to the camera up there, or they'll switch to the camera up here, and I'm like, that's a lot of work. That's a lot of work. That's a lot of work, man. You're welcome for the Baldur's Gate 3 tutorials. I always have drops on for Twitch. If a company is offering drops, they will be on by default, because I run drops all the time on my Twitch.
Invoices can be collected from the... Oh. Not here for...
The problem with the cat cam, though, is the cats are never in the same place. Alright. Captain Renfail Vanguard. I need Percival Walker's help investigating troubling discovery.
Do you now? Well, I do wish I could help you, Captain, but Dr. Walker has been missing for some time.
A shame, too.
We had such high hopes.
The
for
mantis suit is
Percival.
great, guy.
I brought him on myself
There's
to
two
do
different
medical
versions.
and biological consulting around the city. Not the sort of work the Trade Authority traditionally does. But we thought it had the potential to become a whole new type of revenue stream for our branch. I invested no small amount of personal capital into the endeavor. But then he decided to run off after a discipline issue. I presume the miners have him hidden somewhere. Plenty of cracks on this old rock.
I haven't done this
But
one in a while,
at this
Thorgan.
point, it's probably for the best.
That won't be necessary. The Trade Authority isn't interested in employing someone so unreliable. But we would like the money he owes us. If you can convince him to pay his debts, we'd be most grateful.
Just this one time? I am all too aware that once one starts doing favors for the Trade Authority, it can be difficult to stop.
Still gotta find him.
Yes, not everything needs to be a transaction.
Pity. Perhaps a little advance on my part might pique your interest.
I do like money.
Visit the Sixth Circle, a bar on the lowest level of the city. If someone in Sidonia knows where Percival is, you'll find them there.
A reminder that Bring Your Child to Work Day is not an officially sanctioned holiday, and that it is not advised to allow children into potentially dangerous work sites. Keep our children safe. Keep them out.
Keep your children safe. Keep them out of dangerous work sites.
The community center on P1 is a good place to connect with others, or fulfill any spiritual needs you may have.
I think I'll pass.
Broken Spear's upstairs. Go drown yourself there. This bar's for Devil's Vets and their kin.
Devil's Vets and their kin. Yeah, this is the last of the faction quests I have to do. Hadrian Sanon sent me. I'm looking for a man named Walker.
Doc Walker? Well, you're barking up the wrong...
You. Why don't you come here and tell me what some stray wants with Walker? Not every day a stray topsider wanders into my bar claiming they know people. What do you want with Dr. Walker?
There you go, Gray. It sounds like you're ready. Quantum entanglement. I will say the coolest thing about going through the Unity is the ship. Because that ship, it might not look the coolest, but it is a badass ship. It has great jump range, great weapons, and it holds, what, 5, 6 crew members. And that ship, it's the easiest thing to just go through the Unity and then go everywhere and do anything in that ship. It's one of the coolest things about going through the Unity. The armor is also nice, but I love the ship, man. I love the viewport of the ship. Terra Morris might be threatening the galaxy. I need Percival's help.
What? Someone give him the keys to a battle cruiser? Look, you can make up whatever crazy story you want, but you should forget about Percival.
Come on, man. Lives could be at risk. There's
Hello?
somewhere I can find him.
Stop. Even if I did know where he was, I'm not telling some stray I don't know from a... Huh. Maybe there is something you can do. Percival's got this debt put on him by the Trade Authority. You make that go away, prove you're a friend of him and the rest of us devils, and... well, I'm always inclined to help a friend.
So I scratch your back, you scratch mine.
That's good to hear. Now, you want my opinion?
It's
Most
based on
straightforward
items,
way
not
to
weight,
take
so it's a
care of
set
this
amount of
debt would
items,
be to
Gray.
just
Okay,
saunter
that's
up
good to
the
know.
authority and pay him direct, if you've got credits to throw away. Of course, rumor is the Trade Authority keeps all their records and collections files on a central server inside their storeroom. If someone was to break in there and adjust Percival's debt to something a little more reasonable, say a few hundred credits, I'd be happy to cover the costs.
Crossing the Trade Authority could be perilous. There are real stakes here.
Now, what say you get out there and help Dr. Walker?
All right.
Maybe a bounty hunter? Come here.
Who are you?
Heard you talking with Lou, so you're going to help Dr. Walker?
Why?
Oh, no, I mean, I've got my suspicions, but look, you're planning to help Percival, right? Good. Percival's a good guy. Listen, I know how you can do it without having to resort to any B&E.
Well, I like B&E.
Aqueous hematite. Mars is full of it. People think it's just garbage, but Percival and I, we've been working on some projects in the deep mines. At least when he wasn't slaving away at his trade authority contract. But we stumbled on a way to make it useful.
Excuse me.
You give our research over to Octai at the trade authority, it should more than cover Percival's debt. That guy's always looking for an angle.
I presume there's a reason you haven't handed it over? I don't remember this guy at all.
Well, yeah. We were never able to finish the research. Spacers moved in and ran us out. Started setting up shop.
Oh, I know what comes next.
But if you can clear them out, I can walk you through how to finish the research. Then you can give it over to the trade authority.
You could take up
They'll
to
get
200
folks working
items.
in the
Does a
deep mines
stack count as an item,
Jobs
Gray?
come back, I become a modern day folk hero.
Or is
Then I don't
every
have to
item
sleep
in the
on an
stack
inflated
count
space
as an item?
anymore. Oh, yeah. So access to the deep mines can be found outside the city. It's not far. Shouldn't even need to hop back in your ship. We'd set up right near the main drill. Once you've managed that, phone up here on the comms panel, and I can walk you through finishing the research.
All right. I'm gonna... This is like an upstairs thing?
Got something on your mind, love? Then spit it out.
Oh, yeah, I'm not gonna be able to do that. It's a master lock.
What a day, huh?
We got lots of stuff. Just ask. Yo, hey, what's up? You looking to do some shopping here at the Trade Authority? I'm Manaki. Feel free to ask me anything and I'll do my best to help you out.
Looking to make a... I don't even have the option to, like, talk to him.
Come back anytime.
Pay off his debt. Oh, that's the guy behind here, though, I think, to pay off the debt.
I swear that warning klaxon still...
Was there something else?
I wonder if I can persuade him.
I don't recall the exact figure off the top of my head, but with the interest it's accrued, it's something substantial. If you're feeling charitable, I'd be happy to look it up for you.
Look it up.
Do you now? Very well.
I don't have any
Let me
money right
take
now.
a
I spent it
look
all on
at
upgrades, but I'm just curious.
Here, his current balance. And do remember, all transactions are final.
Do I have that amount? I do. I don't want to spend it, though. A little bit whiskey sounds good to me. Enjoy. I don't think I can stun people without getting in. Oh, I don't have a stun gun on me anyway. Well, when I had 500,000 creds, I would have probably just paid it off. But I spent my 500,000 creds upgrading all of my weapons the other day to advanced tier. So I am no longer a wealthy space scoundrel. I am a brokey So I will be doing the long way. And I don't have block picking to break the lock. So I'm doing it this way. We are 15 minutes away from breaking 100 hours in this game, on this playthrough, and I will be recording a special video when we do that. Morgan redeemed a message over on Twitch, says, after you've done this quest line, what's the next thing you're going to be doing in game? That's a good question. Probably Shattered Space. Yeah, probably Shattered Space. If I can get to level 50, I want to go do the Terran Armada stuff, but I'm still only level 30. I did just get level 36, but I got a ways to go before I can do that kind of stuff, so. Oh, I haven't touched my lockpicking on this character at all. So, not anywhere close. The one I'm about to go level up right now is my jetpacks. I just need to remember to use my stupid jetpack in combat so that I can level it up, because I have the points.
We'll get there in no time.
Somebody's landing shit close to us. Alright, I don't know if they're going to be inside or outside. Ooh, I need to go watch that Stranger Things animated show. Oh, there's a Tomb Raider DLC. What? Hang on. My phone pinged me with a whole bunch of stuff. I gotta check this out. Latest Tomb Raider DLC is completely free. I can't wait to play the next Tomb Raider game. Hopefully we're gonna get some announcements on that. Gamers can claim a free piece of the DLC for the upcoming Tomb Raider Legacy of Atlantis ahead of the game's release by linking your Amazon Games ID account, blah, 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 blah. You can get the Mediterranean wetsuit outfit as seen below, which is available for Tomb Raider Raiders of Atlantis as soon as the game arrives. Oh, that's for kids who need to FAP to Lara Croft. Adults like me who can FAP in other places don't need that kind of shit. There's a spacer punk I missed.
Apparently, when freezing to death, one may experience a warm, cozy feeling. I would prefer not to verify that firsthand.
Hello? Oh, I'm in combat. 1, 2, 3, 4. Did those count? I gotta remember this shit. Yes. I need 25. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 13, 14, 15, 16. Oh, am I still in combat? We're good. 17,
I
18.
got better shit to do than looking for you.
Alright, now I gotta go prompt combat again. Hey guys, look at me! Woo woo! Look at me! I'm up here! Shoot the gun! Hey guys! Come on, come outside! I'm gonna have to go down and actually get one of them in combat. Ah!
Damn it.
There we go. Hi guys! There we go. 20. I got 4 more, and then I can rank up because I have skill points. I'm just gonna sit here on the roof and do this. The game has already had 2.5 years of updates. If that's not enough for you, whose username is so horribly done that I can't read it off on YouTube, if you don't think there's any value in a game that has hundreds to thousands of hours of content and has been patched over the last 2.5 years with dozens of free updates and 2 paid DLCs and a shitload of creations, then no, you should not be buying this game. Sorry, you're not going to get your money's worth. Because you want the impossible. You want something that doesn't actually exist. Smells like a troll to me, kids.
Are they actually ever gonna finish this game? Well, I'd really like to play it, but it just doesn't. I don't want to buy something that's not finished.
Leave him alone, Andreja. We gotta go find him again. Hey there. Let's go outside. I don't really want to get shot at. Oh, you can totally reload while you're boosting. I didn't know that. Correct. When you factor in creations and mods, it is wild how much stuff there's. Well, we're about 5 minutes away, actually, from recording the next video, which is me crossing the 100 hours played on this PS5 playthrough. I'm sorry, machine. I need to pee really bad, and that just made me almost pee my pants. Oh my god. Be careful, Ren. It might be a Bethesda dev. Oh my god. Thankfully, that troll he hasn't been back in a while. Oh my god. He might be a Bethesda dev. Oh, you think it was an insult? Oh, no, the insult was you calling me a geezer. That's the insult. I just literally give you your card, and if you don't know the here's your card, that's on you for not knowing that reference. You asked a stupid question, and you got the exact answer that your question deserved. That wasn't insulting. It was treating you with the exact level of respect that your question warranted. Now, I could have called you an inbred dipshit. I didn't do that. I didn't call you names. That would have been insulting. The fact that you called me a geezer is pretty insulting. Thankfully, I've got a thick skin, and troll tears fuel my retirement, so...
Oh, need a moment to walk that off?
I don't, but he does. Alright, there's 50. Alright. Is that rank 4? Booyah, maximum rank. Where do I want to put my points next? You can play this game anywhere in the world that you want to play this game. It is an international release. Alright, we are done with boost pack. We're done with piloting. Do I care about the next rank of this? No, but I probably want to take the next rank of Starship Design. And then go do some more ship modules. But first... Hello there.
You won't get me though.
Hello there. Hello there. Oh, I can't loot the chain link fence. That was a funny stream. I'm a game dev. Why aren't you giving me respect? I work for Bethesda. And the 2 accounts that he had. I swear, I think that's the same guy who started the subreddit. I literally think it's the same dude who started the subreddit. Because if you look at the subreddit, it's 3 accounts that all have my face as the avatar, right? Either my forehead, like my balding forehead, or my face. And it's 3 accounts that manage that subreddit. I literally think it's the same dude. Because that's the guy that sent me the manifesto on Instagram that said he was going to dedicate his life to taking me down, finding out where I live, and taking care of me. I think it's the same dude. I think it's an unhinged whack job who has multiple accounts. I literally think it's the same guy.
Remain alert. Best to assume we have not seen the last of these spacers.
I'm gonna dedicate my life to taking care of you and finding out where you live. Take you down.
Okay? Like... Thanks. How close are we, guys? Does the game show me yet? Oh, we are 6 minutes game time away from 100 hours. Come on, poke your head up. Jesus. That guy's behind something. Oh, oh. Gotcha, bitch. That guy's like underneath some stairs. I don't think I'm gonna get him from this angle. A long way away. My favorite was the guy, I think my favorite troll in the whole time I've been doing this, my favorite troll is the guy, it was a couple of weeks ago, that whack job who like came in and like called me a registered pedo, and then when the whole chat started calling him out, he like started backtracking, and he got banned, and then we banned him on Twitch, and then he showed up on YouTube, and we banned him on YouTube, and then he came back with a second account, and he started apologizing, and like then he came back with a third account and kept apologizing. I'm so sorry, guys. And then like somebody said like 20 minutes later that he had started deleting all of those accounts off of like Twitter and YouTube. Like the accounts suddenly were getting deleted, and I was just laughing my ass off, going, "That right there is someone who realized that they fucked up, and it doesn't matter if you delete your accounts, because all that shit is live streamed, and you said all of that in public, and all of those accounts are literally tied to your real ID, which is that shit is punishable in court." That was the funniest shit I've seen in all my years of doing this, was that guy, because he literally was like, "Oh my god, I'm gonna get in trouble, quick, delete my accounts," and it's like, it's not gonna save your ass, bitch. Like, that ship's already sailed. Like, you said that shit in public. Good luck. Defamation, threats. Yeah, you don't get to, I'm so sorry, I didn't actually mean it. I was just joking. Seaweed, Earl Grey. Oh, that's actually great. Ooh, we got a slate. I found an old book of astrology. You should not be afraid of the dark cave and the truths that lie within. Huh. Penicillin. I'm gonna need some of that after the interaction we just had. Gotta get that skank off me. El Jefe says, I recall this series of events. Does Bethesda have a page on their website to report bugs? I believe they do. Isn't there a way to do it in-game as well? I don't know. I have never gone through the process, so I actually don't know the answer to that question.
Extra ammunition is always welcome if they have any.
I agree. No, I am not going to be playing Pragmata. I have no interest in that game. Alright, that is the long way down. Alright, here's what we're going to do. I think we're at the 100-hour mark, or we're really close. We're like 1 minute away. I have got to take a pee. So I'm going to take a quick bio, and when I come back, we are going to record our 100-hour discussion video on Starfield. I'll be right back. Kid Blisco said, I figured out the autosave bug. That's the most
Miners'
important
quarters
thing.
ahead, perhaps? Filled with more spacers, no doubt.
Alright, let me double check this because there is a select all button in the shipbuilding menu. Yep, I have 2 shipbuilding guides up on YouTube as well. Actually 3. There's the original, there's one I did about 2 months ago for the Xbox, and then there's one I did for the PS5 very recently. Okay, let's make sure that my math is right on that. Get the calculator out. Four days, 24 times 4 is 96, plus 4 is 100. Okay, right? Make sure I can do my math before I do this video. So, we have just crossed the 100-hour mark for the PlayStation 5 playthrough of Starfield. You can see there, my quick save, 4 days, 4 hours, and 2 minutes. We've just officially crossed this during the live stream, which is time to record. I guess this is like an ongoing review of the PS5 version of the game with all the new content, everything else. But also, this is just a great opportunity to talk about the fact that we're 100 hours into the game, and all I have done the entire time is quests. That's it. Quests, with a tiny little bit of leveling up my crafting for weaponsmithing and starship spacesuit mods. Alright? So we're going to talk a little bit about all the things there are to do in this game, specifically as a counterpoint to anyone out there who claims that there's nothing to do in Starfield. It's an empty game. It's as wide as an ocean, but deep as a puddle. All of those little things that the haters like to claim. So, the entire time that I have been playing, it's been running quests. Let's go take a look at those quests for a minute, shall we? This is all, by the way, base game content. I still have not gotten to Shattered Space. As a matter of fact, my character right now is level 36. The recommended level for Shattered Space is level 35. I haven't even finished the base vanilla game content yet. Not yet. And we still have the entirety of the Shattered Space DLC ahead of us, on top of which is all of the new content that came with the Free Lanes update that dropped on April 7th, along with the Terran Armada DLC, which is level 50 plus, which we haven't yet got to. So, how is it that I have 100 hours in a game? I'm level 36. What have I been doing for 100 hours? Playing this character on live streams in front of an audience if it's a dead game with no content? How has this been a record month in April in terms of traffic, finances, analytics, and amount of followers that we've gained? If it's a game that no one wants to play, no one wants to watch, there's nothing here, there's nothing to see and do. How is it possible that Bethesda just retweeted yesterday that it was the best-selling game in the United States on both digital and physical markets? How is that possible if this is a dead game that no one plays and there's nothing to do? Well, it's possible because there is a shitload of content in this game for players to work on out of the box before you ever even consider getting into all of the DLC content, let alone the mods. And bear in mind, I have not been doing any of the Radiant quests that you get from the mission boards. I've barely touched the Trackers Alliance content from the Creation Store, and there is, on top of all of that, all the creation stuff, which we can get to in just a minute. So, I have been playing base game vanilla content. That's it. I'm actually been leveling. Most of my character has been running a negative 6% XP penalty up until recently because I have area. I want to be able to access my ship cargo from anywhere, which gives you an XP penalty. But then I've balanced it out with some food buffs and stuff more recently. So what have I been doing? Well, we've been working on quests. So we can look here. These are all the main quests that I've worked on. These are all the faction quests. If we go down here, these are all the quests that I've done. These are all faction quests. So we did the entire, let's see here. This is the SysDef, the UC SysDef line with the Crimson Fleet. This is the Ryusian Industries quest line. This is one of the bounties, which I did specifically because this was the Mantis 2.0 mission, which gave me the Orchid ship, the crowd control gun, and the Mantis Mark II armor, which I've used for most of my playthrough. This is the Freestar Collective quest line. These are the other two Trackers Alliance quests that I had to get to the point that I could do the Mantis one. And this is the UC Vanguard stuff, which is what we're currently working on right now. So we're currently working on the UC Vanguard stuff. These are all of the miscellaneous missions I've done. I have romanced Sam Coe all the way through, and made a commitment, got married to him, and then he had an unfortunate accident that took him away from us. And I then went on to do all the romance options with Andreja, who I'm currently with. We just did the marriage ceremony with her earlier today during this stream. We've done all of these missions. Activity-wise, I haven't even touched a lot of these activities. And for those of you who have done activities before in this game, you will know that activities are often related to you going to places and talking to people or listening to conversations. But here's the thing. There are still a ton of places I have not been to or spent time in, which means that there are dozens of additional activities that I can go find, on top of which there are NPCs that you have to talk to in order to unlock quests from, on top of which there are things like slates that you can pick up which give quests, on top of which there are things like computer entries which will give you quests that you have to find and open and unlock. There are many, many, many dozens of additional activities and missions and quests that could be added to this list of things to do, and all of these talk to quests, those lead to some sort of quest line. Some of these are standalone, some of these lead to locations like New Homestead, where we then find additional quests that we can do, like the tour guide or the when you put on the alien suit to scare off the tourists, stuff like that. So I'm 100 hours into the game, level 36. All I've been doing is vanilla content, vanilla quests. We have not done any Radiant missions. What are Radiant missions? Radiant missions are the kiosks that you can find. That all the factions have a kiosk, and then there's the generic kiosks as well. And you can find things like space trucker missions, passenger delivery missions, kill quests for bandits and pirate captains at their bases, and of course, spaceship fights. Go take out a fleet somewhere. What else is there? Oh yeah, all the cruise mode stuff. Just cruising around the galaxy and finding all sorts of new sorts of quests to do. All the new POIs and all the events that have happened. We've done a few of those. We have showed off cruise mode in a couple of different videos. We've showed all these encounters that you can have. Space battles, derelict ships, derelict space stations, some of which lead to quests, by the way. And then there's things like going to planets and exploring. I don't know if I can necessarily see it from here because I'm inside, but if we pick a landing zone here and wanted to land, we would be able to then have the anywhere we wanted to land, you have the map that you can then get out of your ship and you can go explore and you can survey. There's tons of different POIs that you'll find. There are events that you'll find where there are combat encounters taking place versus like the Eclipse and Terramorphs, or the Eclipse versus something else. Like there's many different types of activities you'll find on planets. All the dungeons that you can find. All of that exists, and I haven't even touched it. I made a video a while back. I think it's called somebody asked the question, how much content is there in Starfield? And I said hundreds to thousands of hours depending on how you play. Now I'm playing on normal mode. I am not playing on hardcore difficulty or anything like that. Just playing normal mode, taking my time. I'm not space barring my way through conversations. There probably is, at 100 hours, there are some moments where I'm doing this right here, where I'm talking to the community or I'm recording a video while we're live, because we are live streaming right now. So you could probably factor in, there's probably a few hours of me just talking back and forth, but we're going to say 100 hours because that's what the save file says. So we're 100 hours into the game, and I'm in the middle of doing the UC Vanguard quest right now. And I still have ahead of me all of the aforementioned activities which lead to missions, Radiant quests, planet exploration, outpost building, ship building, none of which I have touched. All of that exists in the vanilla game. I'm 100 hours in. There is easily another 50 to 100 hours of just vanilla quest content before you even get into considering the Radiant quest content. What's left? Well, there's the Shattered Space DLC, which has, just depending on your playstyle, if you do all the quests and you take your time and you don't rush, right, you'll get between 20 and 30 hours of storyline out of the Shattered Space DLC. Then there is the Terran Armada DLC, which that one, it just depends because the incursions have a little bit of replayability there. So it just depends on what you're trying to achieve with the Terran Armada content. Before you ever even consider the fact that what's left after that, the New Game Plus. Going through the Unity and getting one of the 10 variant universes that you can then go and explore. And do all the content again from a different perspective with the Spaceborne conversation options. What's after that? Well, you have mods like the At Hell's Gate mod, or the Watchtower mod, or the Continuum mod, or the other mods that are out there for you to choose from the Creation Store. There's all the Trackers Alliance content, which I have yet to finish. So many things to do in this game. And that's like the totality of what Starfield has to offer. So just for me, I'm still running vanilla content, right? We're still vanilla. We're 100 hours in. And we are continuing to get, there's probably, I would argue for me, there's probably about another 50 hours of content on the table before I would need to do Shattered Space if I wanted to just clear all the vanilla. I'm probably going to jump into Shattered Space after I finish this UC Vanguard quest, just because I'm probably going to skip all the standalone stuff because I've seen it all before. I would much rather focus on the quest chains, like the big missions. Thorgan says 3K hours and I have yet to exhaust the content available. Captain Riley has 19 days on Captain Riley's level 104, says Captain Riley in Gargamel. Where did I get the level 2 mana stuff? From the Trackers Alliance quest that I just showed off in the quest tracker. Sam76, this game can be overwhelming to some people. I have a video on that, specifically in the I think it's in the Renfail rant series about how this game is overwhelming. I think Joe California claimed that one. I can't remember who claimed that Renfail rant, but that we did one recently within the last few days about, but there's so much to do that this game can be overwhelming. You're not wrong. It's a big game. There's lots of stuff to do. Right, and there's all the new things that people could do with like the way that you could take items through the Unity with you now. Machine says I've got 14.5 days logged. Null says I've got 1.3 thousand hours. Yeah, guys, but Starfield's a dead game with nothing to do. So my Xbox character that I have, that main character that I've played on the Xbox has over 600 hours on that character, and I have, I think, around 160 hours on my OG character I played at the game launch. I did not take that character through the Unity. It was a one-and-done character, and then I created another character to go through the Unity, and that's the character that I have the most amount of hours on. So I think between the OG character and that character, I've got 750 hours between those two, plus 100 hours here. I've got 850 hours in Starfield so far, and I still haven't seen it all. I have yet to reach Terran Armada. We were talking about this the other day. Even in this playthrough, which is my 4th character, I have been seeing things that I have never seen before. Now, most of this stuff I have seen, but when you start to peel back every layer of the onion, you start to be like, hang on, I've never read that book. I've never found this quest. I've never talked to this NPC. Wait, this person could become a ship companion? Like, you can hire them to your ship? I didn't know you could hire that person as a crew member. Like, Starfield is a big game. There is lots of stuff to do. We had a troll in chat earlier who said something along the lines of, are they actually finished with this game, or is it going to be something they abandon? Because I don't want to waste my time buying this on the PlayStation 5 if this is just going to be a piece of tech that Bethesda abandons. And I'm literally sitting here going, oh, I'm going to address that here in a little bit when I record my video at the 100-hour mark. Because, honey, this game's been out for 2.5 years. They have done dozens of free updates. They have added things like the rover, the what do they call them? The top-down maps. The new, what is the name of the new maps they added? Surface maps. They added the rover. They added the surface maps. They added the survival options, the gameplay options. They added the different narrative camera option. They added, I could go down the list. There's a ton of things they've added for free, on top of which there's the Shattered Space DLC, the Terran Armada DLC, the Trackers Alliance stuff. All of the mod content that people have been out there making. It's a big game. There's a lot going on. Whether you play it on the Xbox, the PC, or the PlayStation, Starfield is a Bethesda game through and through. So if you've ever played Skyrim or Fallout 4 or Oblivion or Morrowind and you've gotten hundreds of hours to thousands of hours of entertainment out of that game, you're going to get the same thing here, as could be attested to all of the people that are in our chat right now from our community who have hundreds to thousands of hours in this game. Starfield is what you make of it, kids. You get out what you put in. So go forth, have fun, explore the free lanes, explore the Shattered Space, explore the Terran Armada threat. Most importantly, enjoy Starfield. Because unlike other games, which might only offer you half a dozen hours of entertainment, maybe 12 hours of entertainment, you're going to get hundreds to thousands of hours out of Starfield. Unless you just spacebar your way through everything and then make a video on Reddit about how I did the main quest in less than 2 hours. This game's pointless. There's nothing to do. I beat Shattered Space in less than 3 hours. There's nothing to do because you spacebarred your way through the conversations and you skipped all the other quests. That's a you problem, not a me problem. Have fun with Starfield, everybody. That's the most important thing out there. It is a big game. It's a big galaxy. There's lots of stuff to see and do. I was waiting to make that video, and now we're past 100 hours. If you think mods saved this game, you're fucking out of your mind. Mods don't save Bethesda games. Mods add to the experience, like a Lego set. You buy the Lego set, you build the Lego set. Bubbleonia has talked about this before. It's a brilliant analogy. You buy the Lego set, you build the Lego set, and then you've got 4 or 5 other Lego sets. You can start picking and pulling pieces off of that Lego set and adding them to this Lego set. But you ain't fixing the motherfucking game with mods. You're adding to the game. Yeah. Bethesda relies on the modders to fix their games. Sure, sweetheart. Sure. I've got some beachfront property in Arizona I would love to sell you.
I'm going to find you.
Is that like Taken? I will find you. I will take care of you. Poke your head out.
You're not walking out of here.
Right in the crotch.
You're gonna take more than that.
Woo, where did he go? That is a boss. Are creations mods? Yes. Creations count as mods. Just for shits and giggles. Korean Gamer says, just got done watching your bad games video. Fantastic explanation. Thank you for that. I do try. Most days I do a good job. Some days are better than others.
Profit is never necessarily the aim, but if there is something worth taking...
I agree, love. Let's see if there are any action figures in here anywhere. Magazines. Ooh. No. Damn master locks got me jonesing. Flashy leatherware. It's probably not as flashy as the stuff your mom wore last night. Thanks, Chris Shop. Appreciate it. This gun is from the very first Trackers Alliance bounty for the Vulture. It's also been modded a little bit. I haven't been able to upgrade it to advanced yet because I ran out of funding the other day. But this is the only one I have left, I believe, that has not been upgraded to advanced tier. Came out, we did that. Now I'm going to get turned around. Alright, we're good. I have done some X-Tech stuff. Not a lot, though, because I literally, yesterday I had about 600,000 credits. And what I did was I took every single one of these weapons up to advanced. And then did skins on them and modded them out exactly the way I wanted them. So I have every single one of these is at advanced. Other than this one, I haven't modded crowd. I ran out of money. So I need to mod crowd control and I need to mod this. Got to get that up to advanced tier. You don't need X-Tech until you go beyond advanced. So at this point, I'm just getting everything to advanced. I'm continuing to play the game, and then when I get to Terran Armada, we'll start to get into some new weapons, and that's when I will probably start looking at X-Tech.
that for selling later, or?
Oh, knowing what we know about those little fuckers. Yeah, I never played Black Flag when it came out because I was too busy with other things. I was traveling, I think, probably when it came out. So I'm really looking forward to that Black Flag ring. By the way,
Hard to believe
so
found this to be a
you guys remember when I did Assassin's Creed Shadows last year? That was an 82-hour playthrough over like, I think we were doing like 6 hours a day, 4 to 6 hours a day of that game. So it took me, it was like 2 weeks. That's all I did was I played Assassin's Creed Shadow like every day for 2 weeks in the mornings, and then we did something else in the afternoons. I know for a fact, because I always get great traffic when I play Assassin's Creed games, and I am a much bigger channel-wise now than I was when I played AC Shadows last year. And I know that Black Flag is the game that everyone's been wanting me to play, and I kept holding back on it because I was like, well, let's wait and see if the rumors are true. I guarantee you we're going to get really good traffic for that. And because I also know that it has ships in it and the ship combat, that's going to be 100-hour plus playthrough for me. I guarantee you Black Flag for me is going to be, that's all I'm doing for like at least 2 to 3 weeks in July. And it was great because I was telling people the other day, I didn't have anything slotted in for June and July yet. Because we were waiting to see, because we've got these events coming up, and I was like, just wait, I guarantee you something will pop up for June and July. And here we are. Boom. I already know what I'm doing for July now. Like, mid-July is just Black Flag. That's it. I'm going all in on that game. That'll be like 3 weeks of July filled with like the morning sessions, like 4 to 6 hours of just Assassin's Creed Black Flag. I cannot fucking wait. It's gonna be great. Maud Deep says the ship combat is awesome. It looks exactly like Black Flag, and also like what we've been playing with Windrose, so be easy to jump into.
No way we can get through this. The caves in the back might be a suitable alternative.
Aqueous hematite? Got some nice wind going on down here.
Take cover!
I can't get an angle on that. No! Give me your node. I want the sweet resource node.
Not all of the resources
Hello
have
there.
been stripped out of these caves, it seems.
I ran out of frickin' ammo. You can run, but you can't hide.
We should move on, if there's nothing worth taking.
I am going to wait because I don't know if it's going to be a Game Pass Day 1 release or not. I haven't looked up all the pre-order stuff yet. And I don't know if they're doing an enhanced version for the PS5 Pro. So if they're not doing an enhanced version, and it's going to be linked, because all the other Assassin's Creed games are part of my Xbox Game Pass Ultimate subscription. So if it's going to be part of my sub, I'll just wait. However, it also, I noticed, it said if you have Ubi subscription, you get like 1 day head start access. If there's like 3 days head start access or something tied to a deluxe edition, I'll just pay for the deluxe edition and get the Head Start access, because I will definitely... I always make money on the Head Start access, so... I still don't know whether I'll buy it for the X. To be honest with you, knowing that I get thumb fatigue, I'll probably end up buying it for the Xbox as opposed to the PlayStation. If there's no enhanced version. If there's an enhanced version, I will go ahead and get it for the PS5 Pro. But if it's just the normal thing, I'll just get it for the Xbox because that's where I'm most comfortable playing because of the controller. You should go watch the watch party from today, Susanok. It is a from the ground up rebuild of the game in the Anvil engine. They brought in the original actor and he mocapped everything from scratch. They have new storylines that they added, brand new animations. Like, it's all from the ground up. So it is not just a graphical remaster. It is a from the ground up rebuild.
Hello? Oh, took care of the spacers, huh? Good. Now to finish off the research, you're gonna need to collect a sample of hematite to run through the thresher. Grab a laser cutter and head back to the chamber where you came in. Once you've got a sample, thresher's the big machine in the next room. Passcode to start it is Ares 2330. Take care of all that, and we'll have Percival's name cleared in no time.
All right, that, my friends, my voice is going out. I've been live all day doing lots of stuff. So, and we did like 10 hours of streaming yesterday. I need to wrap it up here because yeah, I'm like losing my voice, and I still gotta go cut a whole. I have a whole bunch of videos I need to cut out for tonight. So, I'm out. We will be back tomorrow morning. Tomorrow morning we're gonna start off with Diablo 4. Did a stream today right after the Assassin's Creed stream, and I didn't get a chance to watch it. We already have the DLC pre-ordered for Diablo 4. So tomorrow morning we're going to be starting off with a Diablo 4 stream. We're going to go watch the Lord of Hatred event that they streamed today. We're going to watch that together. That's about an hour long, and then we're probably going to play some Diablo 4 tomorrow morning. So that is the plan for tomorrow morning, and then we'll be back with some more Starfield tomorrow afternoon. So we will take a break from Windrose. I might be done with Windrose, to be honest with you. I've had a great time. I don't feel the need to power through it because it's an early access, and I've already gotten, like, I'll probably do a final review. We might do one more session on Windrose. It is a hell of a lot of fun. It is a really good game. But also, we're about to hit the Diablo 4. We'll see. There might be a couple more Windrose streams. But also, we've got Diablo 4 dropping on, what is it, Tuesday or whatever? And then Saros on the 30th. So we're about to shift gears here at the end of the month. So stay tuned on all of this stuff. So thanks for hanging out today, everybody. Thanks for subscriptions, memberships, everything else. We had some really good conversations today. So for those of you who weren't here, first and foremost, there is a Renfail rant that's about to go out on YouTube here in a little bit. As soon as I wrap up the stream, I will go publish the Renfail rant, and then I'm going to take a quick break, and then I'm going to get to cutting this. We got, Babylonia had a monetization question, since he just got monetized on YouTube, and that tied into Gray getting his affiliate status. That was like a 45-minute episode, which is part of our ongoing series on how to make a living as a content creator and streamer. So if you missed that, stay tuned. I'm going to get that clipped out today and up for channel members over on YouTube. It'll be out for the general public in the next couple of days. And then we have the review of Starfield, which we just recorded a few minutes ago, hitting the 100-hour mark. But if you missed any of that, don't worry. It'll be on YouTube for everybody soon. So stay tuned. So there's more stuff coming. There will be a video on YouTube here in a few minutes. The latest Renfail rant will be published live, and I'll see everybody tomorrow. Thanks for being here. Love y'all in your own way, strange way, weird parasocial way. Corazon. I'm just being facetious now. See you next time, folks.